I believe that I am the best person for the job of President of the United States. My unique talents give me the ability to be assertive and diplomatic at the same time. I'm a person who will spike the conversation, who will get politics rolling and stimulate new questions and new answers to our current political dilemma facing our nation. I believe I have a keen understanding of the economy and how to improve where we're at relative to other nations around the world. I believe that our goal at America's Third Party was to create a very strong platform in which would propel the American people forward with new opportunities and a new possibility of creating a better nation, a cleaner environment, and less war. Opportunities. I believe that I am the best person for the job of President of the United States. My unique talents give me the ability to be assertive and diplomatic at the same time.
Good evening, America and the rest of the world. Hello, I'm David Sponheim, and we really are at a very interesting period of time. Very strange indeed, when our countries are all wondering, why is our president, America's president, Trump, so incompetent? I think a lot of people are just kind of aghast at his incompetence. And ironically, Trump and his supporters don't see him as incompetent. They see no flaws in this man. So when he didn't respond vehemently to the Nazi attack on this woman who died, Heather Heyer, he basically blew it. Then the next day he blew it again. And he's got all kinds of people pissed off at him. Manufacturing people that had dropped out of the manufacturing alliance, 6 of them. So what does he do? He closes the alliance. It's like, oh, I don't want a bad mark on my... He completely gets rid of an alliance, a plan to build business and build industry and build jobs. And then the technology people are bailing too. Everybody's bailing. And then he fires Bannon, the guy who probably got him elected, simply because Bannon was the key strategist that got Trump, the Patriots, and all the people that supported going against this New World Order. Trump never even acknowledged the New World Order. He's a part of the New World Order. And I can tell you that I have never been a part of the New World Order, and I never will be. I've made a commitment to work for the American people only. I'm not buyable. I'm the unbuyable candidate, whereas Donald Trump is really materialistic, and he'll do anything for money. That's the difference. I won't do anything for money. So you need to figure out who you want as president to fix this problem, and I'm willing to lose my life fixing it. So if you don't understand what true courage is about, then you don't understand what I'm about. Because I came from a line of people who are courageous. My father fought in 3 tours of duty in World War II, killed over 100 men for this country, and felt really, really bad about it, and wanted his son to be nonviolent, and taught me nonviolence. And I'm here to fix this problem that our country's having with other countries. I'm here to get this country back on track, too. But Trump won't put any ideas on the table that'll stop what's going on right now, which means he's probably totally a puppet of the New World Order. You see, the New World Order wants riots to happen and wants violence to happen. They actually want to break up our country. Well, taxpayer money, somebody's asking me about the taxpayer money, why we would give $400 out free. Well, in case you haven't noticed, a lot of companies are running out of business and losing a lot of money. And $400 per U.S. adult citizen per month, if they want it. Now, a lot of people won't even bother with it. But if they want it, will help stimulate the economy. That's one of the reasons why we want to do this. Another reason is I've got 4 million people right now that are starving without any money. There's 4 million people homeless in America right now. We've got an aerial view of the of this big gathering in Boston. Breaking news. Let's see what it's all about. Okay, live. This is a big gathering in Boston for free speech. Nobody's been hurt so far, so it's good to have protests. But it's not good to have riots, and it's certainly not good to have people killed. Now, one of the things I would do right now is implement 2 laws. And they would be executive orders put out by the president. And one would be that you cannot destroy any public monument in America. Period. There'll be a $10 million fine attached to that. That will stop a lot of potential gatherings against these removal of Confederate statues going on. No need to take anything down. 67% of the population, which is a supermajority, when they polled this, said they don't want any edifices taken down. We're wasting money taking down monuments. We don't know what the prison sentence would be, but that's what I'm proposing. All right? Second of all, I have a plan to stop George Soros because we believe that George Soros may have financed this entire attack in Charlottesville. More and more evidence suggests that the guy who worked the entire campaign for the KKK is a former Occupy Wall Street organizer, which is a direct connection by association to George Soros. So we have a concern about this Hungarian Ashkenazi named George Soros. So another rule would be no one, I don't care if it's George Soros or anybody, but no one can pay rioters. It should be illegal to pay rioters to go out on the streets and riot. I don't know what the buzz is. I think it's off of that feed. Is that better? But protests and breaking news, USA Live. We've got possible links coming up for you there. Things that just came in the room during the pre-show. Walmart applies for patent for a blimp-style floating warehouse. So originally my idea to get a blimp plane together has been copied now by Hughes, or rather, excuse me, by Lockheed Martin and by Boeing. And now the idea for the blimp plane, and Trump even joked about it like it was his idea. Now the idea for the blimp plane has gone another step into the future, where they're going to have loading depots at Walmart so that they can move product long distances without having major expenses. I think it's a great idea, and I don't mind anyone taking this idea and running with it, as long as that they aren't padding their pocket or trying to win elections with it. Moving on. This is the man that, I'll give you the link, this is the man, Jason Kessler, who they believe is a George Soros plant who started the KKK rally. And he's the guy who also tweeted that Heather Heyer was disgusting and called her names. And now he won't even respond. Yeah, Trump tells people he invented the wheel. Okay, let me check that. Boom. You want to get that? Thanks. It's not really the same idea, and even it doesn't matter because it's an open source concept. My idea, the blimp plane. Not right now, I'm in the middle of a show. You want to just talk to them? Thank you.
No, I just sent the caller voicemail.
Is it who I thought it was?
I don't know. It's a guy named Tony.
Tony. Oh, Tony, you can call again. I thought you said somebody else. Tony, you want to call back? Go ahead. I have a lot of ideas worth stealing. A lot of you people are always thinking about your own personal gain. You don't even understand what it's like to be non-materialistic. Your President Trump is a greed monger who has all kinds of credit debt, $2.4 billion in credit debt. All right. Supporting that guy is like supporting a national security risk. Trump's going to be resigning, I would say probably in October, maybe even September. People are talking about September 23rd as the big day. We don't know why, but maybe it's the day he resigns. Okay, this guy, his name is Jason Kessler. I'll give you the link to this. He definitely is a plant, in my opinion, put out by George Soros to start and trigger racial hostility in America. Thank you. Rodney's assured me that Pence is going to pick me as the vice president. I appreciate that, Rodney. It's a start, I'll tell you. I'll take any start I can get considering where we're at. Apparently, when Bannon was fired, Donald Trump made the comment, "Who the F does this guy think he is?" He said incredulously to associates about Steve Bannon. So I think Steve Bannon was thrown under the bus because he really didn't have any clear-cut anti-white supremacist rhetoric. So they thought he was a white supremacist. All right. We got a great movie coming up in our video section tonight called We Found Them. And this is the lost George Soros interviews he tried to hide. It's an hour and 48 minutes. It'll be playing in our evening show tonight. And then we've got another thing that we need to bookmark. This is, yes, Steve Colbert is actually ragging on Trump some more. We're going to play 8 minutes of his video tonight. I can't play these during the recorded broadcast because, and I'd like to, but I can't because they monetize all that. We're trying to minimize our conflict with YouTube's laws. All right. And that pretty much wraps it up. Oh, there's one other thing I wanted to mention. This is really amazing. They've got a new law in Stamford, Connecticut. You know, Stamford, Connecticut, the place where Miriam Carey was residing, the woman who went into Obama's inner circle area right near the White House with her car, and she wanted to talk to Obama. Miriam Carey came from this same city, Stamford, Connecticut. Anyway, she was shot 5 times in the back of her head by Secret Service men, and they never, ever were prosecuted. The judge threw the case out. A woman was shot to death, and she wasn't even armed, and they never even dealt with a court case against what they did. So we're going to look at this story here. It says, a new distracted walking legislation will outlaw texting and even talking while walking. Connecticut is known for its communistic legislation, and their governor has been very, very liberal. Well, the heinous crime of distracted walking has become the latest trend that cities in the U.S. are looking to legislate into non-existence. Yeah. A woman on the phone was walking right across your... No kidding. Wow. Okay. Well, here's the link to this story. It's just an encroachment of government that the right and the centrist people do not want. You Democrats, you're going, well, what else are we going to do to stop this? We should have laws and luxury taxes and keep charging people more money. How are we going to finance our government? The Democrats are the cause of a massive overrun of expenditure in various states. They're the reason why we're running in the red in, 47 states right now. Yeah, to make another law about it's insane. You know what we have now in the state of Washington? If I'm driving along and I have a cup of coffee like this, and I'm driving and I grab the cup of coffee and drink it and happen to touch the line, that's just cause to pull me over and charge me with a $136 ticket. No, you're the joke, buddy. I've got a worldwide viewership of millions of people. You come in here, you're the joke. Costco owes Tiffany more than $19 million for selling counterfeit rings. Oh, wow. This is not the first time. Costco's been stung a couple times. They had a court case with a watchmaker who was buying... Costco was buying the watches in Paraguay or Uruguay at discount. And the watchmaker, I'm not going to tell you which one, but the watchmaker sued Costco and won. Tiffany, wow. So this story is, it's more than $1. What? Oh, 19 million. They owe 19 million for selling counterfeit rings. So Costco's got some answering to do. They've got to face the music on this one. U.S. District Judge Laura Taylor Swan ruled on Monday that Tiffany's entitled to 11 million in trebled profits. Triple the loss it incurred from Costco's actions, plus interest. In addition, an 8.25 million in punitive damages. Oh, wow. Hey, Costco, you know, buy cheap, sell high. Not exactly a good move when you violate the laws that are put out by companies like Tiffany. If they don't want to sell in a certain market and you're paying and buying it somewhere else or getting counterfeits, it can really destroy their bottom line. They had every right to sue. Yeah, well, you should probably sell your watches, Rex. If any of you guys have old Minolta cameras, you might want to put them on eBay. They're selling really well. I mean, you get good dollars for them. Seriously. Buckra has a story, and Bowie has a story. And welcome, Periscope viewers. We are on Periscope. Our link on Periscope is right here if you want to catch it. And I'm going to open up, I'm going to see if this is the first time I've done this. I'm going to open up our live chat at YouTube. Sarah will be impressed that I do this. The first time I've done this. I'm going to open up our live chat. And by the way, YouTube, if you're ever running into buffering problems on this network, Vaughn network, YouTube actually has a really nice video signal. So nice, we're thinking of making it our main signal on our main site. So if you ever have a problem with buffering, you can set this up on your desktop if you got some table space, and open up the Vaughn chat room in pop-up and set it next to it. Yeah, there's a lot of buffering on Vaughn. Yeah, you can stay here too. That's fine, but I'm not afraid of anybody. But YouTube has already censored me. Oh yeah, but it's not YouTube. It's YouTube run by our government. The government bought up most of the major social networks a long time ago. Many people don't know this, but most of the social networks, YouTube, run by Google, Facebook, not owned completely by Mark Zuckerberg, but now there are companies like In-Q-Tel that are being used as shell corporations to buy large sectors of the social networking. So they control the very backbone of social networking. And I'm going to use some simple logic here to explain to you how they did this. Are you ready? The government prints up money whenever they need it. They want to buy a company. They give Mark Zuckerberg $35 billion. He pretty much gives them controlling interest in the company, but has ruling control over the boardroom. Mark Zuckerberg does not own Facebook. YouTube does, or rather Google does. Google is the presiding interest holder in Facebook. And who owns Google? In-Q-Tel. That's why you're going to see a lot of censorship in the country. I want to reiterate that the cost of this $400 per month per U.S. adult, if every single U.S. adult that qualifies just went in for this deal, it would initially be about $700 billion. But it would be rolled back because we're going to drop welfare in the process. We're going to lose about $200 to $300 billion in costs. So we're going to bring it closer to $500 billion. And we're not going to be paying any illegal aliens or green card holders food stamps like we are right now under Trump. So we're going to be saving quite a bit. When we finally end up paying for this, it'll be about $500 billion, which is about how much more Trump just gave the military-industrial complex. Which I will not do. I will be cutting the military-industrial complex budget to $500 billion. And we're going to reorganize it so that we're going to be focusing on unmanned aerial vehicles and missiles that are stealth missiles that run like a unmanned aerial vehicle. A brand new form of missile will be born under my leadership. And the goal is to create these peacemakers. And their goal is to simply target insurgent activity in areas that we're heavily involved protecting our allies without sending troops into harm's way and making sure we minimize the collateral damage. So there's a lot of things that we're going to be able to do with these missiles, and they will be disposable. So our government will have a lot lower cost on our missile systems when I'm president. And we're going to focus less on the big, huge machinery of war like our aircrafts, which will still be flying, no question about it. But the results of the F-35 stress tests were so bad against the F-16 that we have to scrub a lot of the big projects that we've had with Lockheed on that note. But we're not going to drop Lockheed military plans. We'll still move forward with their laser technology, their graphene technology, as well as their missile technology. But we might even turn the F-35 into a bomber without a pilot. That would be another option. So you can see that I definitely believe in a strong defense is the best way to approach world politics, so that we don't have an offensive stance, but a good, strong defense is key. I don't believe they do, no. Look at the Boston false flag event going on. It hasn't gone violent, so I don't see what the relevance issue is. I don't get that. If this was a violent situation right now, dozens have been arrested, a few injuries, as 40,000 protesters descend in Boston. Thank you, Samizdat. We'll certainly stay relevant for you. 1 week after violent protest rattled Charlottesville, Virginia, a scheduled free speech rally in Boston today was met with thousands of counter-protesters, but the day went off mostly smoothly, police said, with 33 arrests but few injuries. So, I mean, this is how American democracy at the ground level should work. No one gets hurt or very little injury. Well, the advertising you're seeing on this network is because Vaughn has one of the few networks that has a chat room we can actually control. We're still looking at other options, but we've yet to find a chat room as controllable as Vaughn. So it's important that we have that. What we're going to try to do is put a backup chat room on our site that is a free-for-all for any guests or anybody to come in. But we haven't done that yet. That's the next plan. And it will be hosed with trolls. But it'll still be open season to anybody getting in. Because right now, Vaughn is banning 300 million IPs from VPNs around the world. Well, you know, I do 500 tax-free. And believe me, this 400 month per adult is tax-free. I'm starting at 400 because right now, that's the most realistic number I can dish out. If there's another competitor offering a basic or universal income, say Mark Zuckerberg decides to run, he's already stolen my idea of a universal income. I call it a basic income. But if he decides to run and up the ante to 500 or 1,000, I'll do the same. And we'll beat him. No, I would never ready FEMA camps, Bengalitis, in case rallies get out of control. No, never. What I want everyone to know that I'm morally against FEMA camps. And in 2008, when we first started the show, we could go to Google Map and look at the FEMA camps all over the internet. It was very easy to go to Google Maps and see FEMA camps. Now you can't see them. There's no interactive map. The best you can get is an image, what they look like. And like this is, I Googled the word search term FEMA camps, and this is what came up. This is a camp right now down in Nevada. I don't know where it is, but it has lodging for 350,000 people. That's one of the largest in the world. FEMA camps are all spattered all over the country. There's 804 of them. It's not an easy subject to talk about, but I can assure you that what I want to do is turn these FEMA camps into regional food supply centers and get rid of the fencing that's around them. Eliminate this fencing concept, because it reeks of concentration camp. Your closet? Really? You have to stay in the closet just to watch the show? Wow. 6 people in your closet. No, there won't be FEMA camps under my leadership. That's what I'm saying. We will have detainment areas at the bottom of near the border, which will be transition areas for people that are trying to get into the country illegally. We'll also set up an island off the coast of New York, in which we're going to be it's a processing center, which will have the potential to have fast food restaurants, and it'll be a nice place to stay. It won't be like a lockup facility. People land there because they're in transition from another country, and we don't know exactly what to do with them. We'll go there, and they'll have, like motel suites to stay in. I wasn't a camp counselor, no, but I went to a lot of camps, and my dad was a camp counselor, so I know about camps. I do. What are the FEMA's camps? Well, these camps are places that the government set up to detain people, and they're very scary. It's not fun. They installed brand new incinerators in every one of them. So if you want to know what a FEMA camp looks like, it's kind of like a Nazi concentration camp. There was a camp in Grenada. You were in a camp, really? Yeah, that was a detainment camp for immigrants. Those are different than FEMA camps. But whatever. I mean, it's still a camp, right? So yeah, this is molded after the Nazi plan of concentration camps under the Third Reich. And you're wondering, why would they be doing that in America? Because part of our government is run by the Third Reich. They embedded themselves through Operation Paperclip in our government. Oh, the Nazis are in our government. You didn't know? Donald Trump is one of them. I hate to tell you, but the reason why he didn't say anything against the Nazis is because he really likes Nazis. He's surrounded by Ashkenazis, the same kind of people that surrounded Adolf Hitler during World War II. Donald Trump is surrounded by a massive group of Ashkenazi Jews who just simply want money. They're the worst type of people, and they're giving good Jews a bad name. They really are. I mean, I don't dislike Jewish people. I really respect them. But the Ashkenazi Jews are not even related. They're not even related to Abraham. Their mother's mother isn't even Jewish. But they claim to be Jewish because they like money. Okay? And they're the worst kind of people, and they surround people like Donald Trump. And now he's a Zionist. He's always been a Zionist, but now he's front forward on the whole thing. And our country is doing the work of Israel. And to kind of segue this to our anti-war rally, the reason why we even have troops invested out there in Syria, 1,500 troops in Syria right now, violating Bashar al-Assad's sovereign nation of Syria. The reason we have people there is because we're trying to defend Israel. And the reason why we started the Iraq War and the Afghanistan War, well, the Afghanistan War has been very profitable for the CIA. They make a lot of money on heroin. And you won't hear about this in the news. They won't talk about this. But I can prove to you how much more heroin we're selling now across the globe. And it's cheaper than ever. But I don't want to go into that right now. But Iraq was really to kick off the enemy of Israel, Saddam Hussein. And they effectively stopped any potential threat from Saddam Hussein. So we've been doing Israel's bidding in the foreign involvement in the Middle East. That's what's happening. If you want to hate on Bashar al-Assad, that's fine. But you cannot prove to me that he's got gas weapons or chemical weapons. He's already had a full checkup by the UN, 100% checkup, and he's got nothing like that. So the dialogue coming out of the CIA to start a war in Syria has been a moot point. And recently, Donald Trump, under Steve Bannon, pulled rebel support in Syria. Well, hopefully he'll continue pulling rebel support. I've been saying he should pull rebel support for a year now, even before the election. So, in fact, I've been saying it for 5 years. But Bannon was the one who was carrying the line to pull rebel support and bring our troops home. So it's interesting to see if he now morphs into the pro-war against Syria stance, which Jared Kushner and the World Bank support and Henry Kissinger supports. When will the FEMA camps be used? Well, they would be used in the event of a pandemic, 555. And they would be utilized in the event of a pandemic only to control the population, not to prevent the pandemic from spreading. Because once you put people on rail cars, which are all designed to go to the FEMA camps, much like Hitler had his concentration camps set up, they automatically spread the disease. So there's no logical reason why we would have rail cars or human rail cars, let alone FEMA camps. So that's one of the things I'm going to dissolve is our FEMA camp plan, but we'll keep the locations as regional food centers that can store food for distribution. Now, as you can see, I've thought this through pretty well, and I can tell you that without a plan of action to deal with any potential disaster around our country, or around the world for that matter, we're kind of dead in the water. So what I'm recommending is a food drop system, which is very simple. It involves just dropping food in small packages, as opposed to sending it on rail cars through checkpoints and warlords and having that food go rot on the train tracks. Like we've done this to the Ivory Coast, we've done this to Nigeria. The warlords take the food in and they sit on it until it rots. So this is a concept I came up with in 2009, which we've added to our plan for emergency FEMA food supplies, regional centers. And we'll rotate food in and out so we never run low of food. And any food that's going out will be going into our food centers and will be provided people at food banks low-cost food. Anything that's right around expiration will go to the food banks. So we'll have a regular rotation of this, and this way we'll always have a backup in case of a disaster. Not a great idea? That's what I'm all about. Now, since the views around the world have increased to millions and millions of viewers, and I seem to be breathing a breath of life into a seemingly dead, corporate-owned New World Order, I will not be dead in 30 years, no. I have a plan to live to be at least 250 years old. Yeah, I didn't think it was possible until I saw a picture of a guy who did live to be 250 years old, according to the ancient Chinese who knew him and knew of him. I was quite shocked. You're running your show through the wrong venue. If you go to this location, you won't have the buffering problem. You can run the Vaughn chat room separate. Pop out chat and then go to that location and watch that link I just gave you. You won't have any problem then. Mark's code is all screwed up. He didn't do a good job. Ronnie Brown is here. Hey, Ronnie Brown. Walter Orbs, nice to see you, man. Cool. Yeah, live is great. You guys, there's no downtime whatsoever in our show over at YouTube, which is amazing. So that code at YouTube is really good, whereas Mark's code is just not good at all. Not gonna do it. There's chat. Okay. Yeah, you guys can talk to me. Hi, Walter. Cool. And I still have something over here at Periscope. Flash prevents buffering. Yeah. Mark got rid of the Flash broadcast. Okay. A lot of the Flash programs aren't even run on browsers now. So there's been a recent update to the Flash system by Adobe. That does correct some of the problems you may be having with various browsers, but the best browser I've had to watch the Vaughn show is called Epic. And it doesn't allow any of the malware to come through. Mark is running 1900 malware attacks. So the reason, it's just crazy. Scissor Fight went in and did an ad block on some of the stuff, and he was surprised it read 1900 attacks by Mark onto this. Now I only count 20 when I come in, but yeah, Wintard. Oh, Winamp. Yeah, Winamp died. Not much going on there. You broadcast in the Spanish section and you use the Flash. Yeah, and it's very common around the world to use Flash, but apparently it's becoming passé here in the United States. Well, there is Flash running on this site right now. That's part of the problem. Mark is running a chat room that runs off Flash. I don't really care if a person's an Ashkenazi Jew. It bothers me that they're gathering around trying to gain money from Donald Trump. That's what's disturbing. We have a lot of people trying to do that, and it's not fun. Oh, here we go. So this is our motto. I will not sit back and watch my America be destroyed. I think the peaceful protest is great. It's a sign that our democracy could very well work. As long as people aren't getting hurt and there's not a direct clash, you know, we protect freedom here, but we don't want anyone to crash. You know, this poor guy was fighting for his right to get some stuff at Walmart, and he fell down. And since he was a snowflake, he wasn't able to get up. So we're trying to prevent that, the crash of democracy. He's in the soda section. I know. He wanted that root beer or something. Mark's failed HTML5 sprint. Now the only way to record the stream is via RTMP dump helper. Really? Wow. Well, you can always watch our recorded broadcast on YouTube and just download using download helper if you want a workaround. I need a new microphone and a mixer, yeah. Is somebody sending me one? Yeah, really. I think Vaughn is purposely trying to slow down the stream, and he's getting paid to censor me, so it doesn't surprise me that this doesn't work too well. Very nice of Mad Dog. I know. I'm blown away. Oh, well, my email address, Mad Dog, or my actual stone. Okay. Well, do you want to just open up an IM with me right now, and I'll give it to you? I know. Let me IM you right now. That's the best way to do it. Okay, there you go. I just IM'd you. Hope that gets there. Okay, got it. You're all set. Let me double check, make sure it's right. Yep, that's correct. Excellent. That was easy. Yeah, cool. Yeah, see, I use P.O. boxes for that. All right, we've got a couple of other things going on that I wanted to show you. The picture of a 250-year-old man. It's not this guy, that's for sure. He went on to Hale Bopp, I believe. I have a very interesting conspiracy theory that I'm going to be talking about coming up on our Conspiracy Monday show. Yeah, it's going to be really good. You wouldn't believe the possibilities that this guy was an actor and he was covering up a massive cover-up, and I could tell you more, but I'm going to leave it for Conspiracy Monday. Well, I don't mind talking about any conspiracy theories. That was the Hale Bopp guy. I don't mind talking about any conspiracy theories because we need to open up the dialogue. Look, our country has been at war for the past 222 or 223 years out of 239 years since 1776. Okay? I'm not worried about Putin. I'm worried about Russia contaminating this election and controlling Donald Trump. They're going to do that whether we like it or not, unless we get Trump out of the White House. Yeah, Disney's leaving Netflix, so they're going to start their own streaming service. Well, that makes sense. I'm not worried about it. Well, you know, war does more than stir up the economy, Charlie, Chucklehead Charlie. In 1975, Rand Corporation did a study on what our economy would be like without war. And the results were sealed. And it wasn't until recently that we actually got them opened. The results of the Rand study, what would our country be like without war, were so disturbing that it showed that our economy would collapse. That's why we've been at war all these years. Very sinister reason to keep the war going, to keep our economy going. But what war does is it destroys things. It creates a growing demand for products because the products are destroyed. Missiles are used to start wars, so we sell missiles. Our country makes a lot of money on military hardware. So essentially, this is the reason why we are still at war. All wars are bankers' wars, and they keep propping up money and expanding credit whenever they want to. They start a war. All right. I didn't know that theme parks are designed to program MK Ultra slaves. That's a new one for me, John. So if I go to Disneyland, I'm going to be controlled and come out as an MK Ultra slave. I'm going to be like Britney Spears and shave my head. I still have to find this guy's picture of 250-year-old guy. I'm going into the date connection here. Thank you. You're going back on ignore if Dave don't ban you? Okay, who am I going to ban, Jackson? You're trying to tell somebody to shut the bleep up. Okay, it's Ann. Okay, we're going to go ahead and mute you, Ann. Thank you. That was hurtful. Ann can take it, though. Ann's really quite adept at everything. So here is the, try not to get too excited, but here's Bradley Manning, a.k.a. Chastity. Is it Chastity Manning or Chelsea Manning? That's right, Chelsea Manning. There he is. The swimsuit issue. It's probably going to go Vanity Fair. They'll probably have him on the cover or something. Her, him, her. Him, her. So what is this big obsession with transgenderism that's been going on in our country? Well, a lot of it's just Operation Distraction. The day that Donald Trump said trannies couldn't be in the military was the day that his former chairman of his campaign, the Russian agent, Paul Manafort, was testifying in front of Congress. So anything to get distraction going. So anything to talk about, of course, Donald Trump made this broad statement about transgenders that day. You like his legs? Wow, good for you. Maybe you're gay. Have you ever considered being gay? Because it could lead to this. Except in California and New Jersey. No, I cannot ban fidget spinners. A lot of the kids today are suffering from autism, and it's the only thing that makes them happy. So you think tranny porn is selling like crazy in America? I don't really have any knowledge of porn. I'm not a porn person. Wasn't that great? Well, we could just show you GIFs all night long. Good night, Jackson. What's going on? Is it not enough that I muted him? You want me to ban Ann? Drag King came right back in. What can I do to make you happy, Jackson?
Hello.
Hi, Sarah. Jackson's upset. A lot of infighting going on here.
Are you on Periscope too?
Yeah, I am. I'll just get down there in just a second.
Oh, good job. opening up the YouTube chat.
Yeah, in fact, I showed people how easy it is to see the show on YouTube. Yeah, I don't have that 256-year-old guy here on. I should just grab him right now. 256-year-old Chinese man. It gave me hope that I could live to be 250 years old. Here, I'll just give you the article.
What is the longest?
There he is. I kind of look like him, don't you think? A little bit? Just kind of.
A person has ever lived for. Li Qingyuan, a man who lived an astonishing 256 years. And no, this is not a myth or a fictional tale. According to a 1930 New York Times article, Wu Chengqi, a professor of the Chengdu University, discovered imperial Chinese government records from 1827 congratulating Li Qingyuan on his 150th birthday, and further documents later congratulating him on his 200th birthday in 1877. In 1928, a New York Times correspondent wrote that many of the old men in Li's neighborhood asserted that their grandfathers knew him when they were boys.
So in order to be a person of this age, he gave a very simple recommendation. Everything has to go very slow. When you're sitting, be like the turtle. When you're walking, be like the pigeon. And make your heart quiet. Remain heart quiet. He said, remain quiet. Keep your
quiet heart.
Keep
sit
a quiet
like a
heart.
turtle, walk like a pigeon. Have a quiet heart.
And he didn't use Botox.
My voice messages rarely. Well, wait, sometimes. Our email.
I gave Mad Dog our post office box.
Yes, I
he
do
wants
check
to.
my email sometimes, once a week or so.
Okay, so if you want to learn how to be a 256-year-old man, check that video out. Thank you, Sarah, for coming in. Home of the Earth, occupying the White House. We put the Earth first when we talk about building industry. Clean, green technologies are really important to us, but we don't want to charge the taxpayer money to do that. We definitely believe that the big war going on right now is the war to save the planet. It shouldn't be a war against other countries. We need to drift away from this rhetoric that Trump is pushing against North Korea. And we have other reasons why our show is good and our campaign is good. We want to offer you a lot of new alternatives. No GMOs in our diet, ending the forced vaccination programs that are pushing too many vaccines too fast into kids. That's not to say vaccines might be helpful, they might be. And no fluoride in water. And most of all, I'm definitely against chemtrails. I believe that there's poison in the atmosphere that we're living in, and we saw some over our house today, and we didn't like that. At least I didn't. FEMA is definitely part of a plan to deal with any type of a crisis. And if you're worried about FEMA so much, it's an actual bona fide attempt to deal with potential crises in our country. But if this is being abused, the Federal Emergency Management Program is being abused, then we have a problem. I'm not going to ban MSG because it's being so widely used. I don't want to kill an industry. Stopping chemtrails won't hurt the bottom line of the food industry. You know, many people can choose no nitrates and no MSG in their food now. So you, the consumer, have to take responsibility to a certain extent. You can search out products now that are non-GMO, not genetically modified. And if you really care, you can pay a little extra for that. So there is still choice in America. All right, Sarah's going to give me a little break, and I'll be back. Yeah, I just sent him that too in IM form. Yep. I managed to put together a... Okay, why those Confederate statues look a lot like their...
Union counterparts?
Yeah.
They were probably made by the same statue maker.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Almost identical. had left a monument bronze soldier of a Union soldier in New Jersey in 1889, the right a Confederate soldier by the same company erected in Windsor, North Carolina.
One's a Confederate, one's a Union. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I like Brazil nuts. They're really good for you. High selenium content. Well, then, making a law, an executive order right now, to ban any destruction of a public monument in America will stop a lot of potential strife from happening. Guaranteed. And Trump hasn't done this yet. It's amazing he hasn't used this executive order ability to stop the takedown of any statue. Now, we could put a $10 million 5-year prison sentence attached to it, but I mean, if we make it serious, people aren't going to take down any statues whatsoever. And we need to move on. We need to repair bridges. It's costly to remove statues. Okay, I'll be back. Thank you.
Okay. Today I'm just going to work my way through the book now that I'm here. All right, Mad Dog, I got my email, or I just checked it like now, and I emailed you back. Okay. Just looking at some things. Okay. Yes, I understand. The post office closes at 12 o'clock on Saturday. It's fine. It's okay. If the memory goes, then the history will return. Sure, nobody wants that. Yes, I'm sorry, Rodney. I'm not a trained radio artist like you and David. You're both these awesome radio personalities or something. All right. Fools rush in where angels fear to tread. What does that mean? What's that word for not remembering? Forgetting? 209, forgetting? Thank you very much, 486. Okay, I know I'm not supposed to respond when people say I'm pretty. David says it's trying to denigrate me somehow, and somebody else said it's moving into feeding the trolls or something like that. Yes, weigh the odds before you make a decision. Good job. Bravery can be a foolish pursuit without the proper calculations. Foolish people are often reckless, attempting feats that the wise avoid. This saying is from an essay on criticism by Alexander Pope. I know, I agree with you, Trollorama. It's okay to take a compliment. I like compliments. I think everybody likes compliments. They make you feel good. I think Caesar is the one that claims everybody else is Caesar. All right. For want of a nail, the kingdom was lost. Wow. I have not read any of Eudora Whatley's works. Yes, this is trivia time again. Yeah, smallest things can cause a huge war. Kind of like that, yes. The answer is 6. everything can be lost of the very smallest of issues. Why trivia every day? Because it's either that or I could talk about the news. I haven't heard of Eudora Whatley. I'm looking at her now. She was born in Jackson, Mississippi. Or she died on July 1st. American short story and novelist who wrote about the American South. Her novel was The Optimist's Daughter, won the Pulitzer Prize in 1973. A nail, a shoe, a horse, a soldier, a battle, a war, a country. That's exactly right, Dirt. That's where it comes from. Something of great importance may depend on an apparent trivial detail. The saying comes from a longer proverb about a battle during which the loss of a nail in a horseshoe leads to the loss of a horse, which leads to the loss of the rider, which leads to the loss of the battle, which in turn leads to the loss of the whole kingdom. Wow. So your life is important. Even the little trivia details. Alright. Well, good job, Sammy Stat. Do you watch the stream via YouTube? And then what I do is I don't watch my stream per se. I kind of do have YouTube running. But I have... Oh, let me say the other one. Forewarned is forearmed. I have pop-out chat going. Battlecam for the stream, Firefox for pop-out chats. Yeah, I use Epic Privacy Browser for the pop-out chat. Good to see you too, 396. Problem with Proverbs, they are open to interpretation in your choice of language. Good point. Mostly water. That's not nice. Epic, we've been using it for a while, and it's a pretty good browser. It's like a privacy browser, so the only thing with Epic is sometimes you can't watch video on it, but you can definitely do the vonlive.tv/popout/chat/third-party there. Don't tell your enemy what you're going to do in advance. Yes, those who know that something is coming are better prepared to face it than those who do not know. Knowledge about the situation gives you an advantage. Do your homework. That's what I would say. Yeah, don't start smoking pot. I hear it makes you eat, and I hear it makes you a little bit, well, not totally paranoid, but acutely paranoid. I believe Epic it's a privacy browser. It's designed to be more private than others. One of the things with Epic is if you have like 1,000 browser tabs open, well, I exaggerate obviously, but 25, oh, next one, frailty. Thy name is woman. I hate that one. I don't like that proverb. Anyway. I believe with Trump as president, yes, there could be a war. I never arrived, Drag King. The necklace you sent? You're probably right, 730. You hated the people in school who would remind the teacher to assign homework. You'd give them the death stare. You would probably like me because I do assign some homework, but for the most part, yeah, it's like they think women are full of marshmallows and are the weaker sex are weaker than men. It's from Hamlet by William Shakespeare. All right, a friend in need is a friend indeed. Anyway, there's Evidence suggests that homework does not help elementary school students. So, but I do assign a paper about once a month, a big paper. Yes, I do have your t-shirt, Mad Dog. I should wear it. I can go put that on. Oh, I always read this differently. That means your buddy really needs that $50 and he'll wash your car for it. It says your friend needs bailing out of jail. Yes, David has the courage to go to war if necessary, but he won't be stirring up vindictive statements or whatever. He won't be pushing us to go to war, unlike Trump. A friend who helps out when we are in trouble is a true friend, unlike others who disappear when trouble arises. From the sublime to the ridiculous is but a step. Regroup. Yeah, it's sad to always be at war. What is a Satoshi? Shall I come? Here. That was not a complete sentence. Drag King did not do that, Sammy's dad. He doesn't have any actual, everything's in capital letters. With a period at the end. Alright, anyway. Moving on. In life, things that are noble and magnificent are never far from things that are trivial and laughable. This saying has been attributed to both Napoleon Bonaparte and the French statesman Talleyrand. You're right. I'll take off my jacket. I should go get on my t-shirt. Oh, thank you so much for your opinion, 272. The game is not worth the candle. We are talking about Proverbs. Just mean, I know. I wish you peace, love, and understanding, 272. Good job. All right. What we would get from this undertaking is not worth the effort we would have put into it. This saying alludes to a game of cards in which the stakes are smaller than the cost of burning a candle for light by which to play. Carry on, subby-doo. Yes, subby-doo. I'm glad you're here. Somehow I have Washington Times notifications on my desktop. Seattle area suffering a heat wave with 70 degrees Fahrenheit. This is not my actual living room. I have a green screen behind me. This is obviously a picture. David is chopping vegetables or something. Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. Wow. Geniuses take more than it means genius takes more than just a good idea. The solar eclipse will lower the temperature by 21 degrees Celsius everywhere it touches at 100% obscurity. This path might trigger severe tornadoes, power outages, and some psychological troubles. The hole in the flow of solar radiation we are used to can even in some cases damage fauna and flora in the direct path. Lunatics might turn violent. It's going to be for 2.5 minutes. I mean, at the most 3 minutes. I think everybody can survive for 3 minutes. It's okay. That's okay, 396, don't worry about it. Genius is 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration means great accomplishments depend not so much on ingenuity as on hard work. This saying is from the American inventor Thomas Edison. Well, you know, if it's someone's time to go, Dr. Meow, maybe that's why it happens every 100 years. I disagree, 712. People don't take me more seriously when showing bare shoulders. Solar eclipse is on Monday. What time exactly, Pacific time, is it going to be, the solar eclipse? I need to look that up. Nine 04, 9 o'clock a.m. Pacific time. Well, that's in August. That's at Pacific City. So around 9 a.m. Okay, good to know. I better set my alarm. I know, don't look at it with your eyeballs. You need to have... Actually, you shouldn't really even look at it. You should be looking at one of those... that's not a myth, Duskrim. It can hurt your retina. You won't feel it. It's not like painful. It'll just cause permanent damage. Alright. Give him enough rope and he'll hang himself. That's not a good idea, 228, unless you have some kind of filter on there. A person will bring about his or her own misfortune if given the opportunity. Give the devil his due. Yes, a solar eclipse, not a lunar eclipse. If it were a lunar eclipse, you could look at it. No, the sun hurts your eyes, Dosgrim. And even when the moon is covering the sun, there's still, even if it's just the corona, there's still the sun rays that can hurt your eyes. All you need to do is do a paper plate with a hole punched through it and hold it, and then look at the grounds from the paper plate. I'm not saying that an eclipse is worse. I never said that. I guess in Oregon they'll have a lot of the solar eclipse, but I'm up in Washington. So admit it when there is something good even in a person you dislike. That saying appears in Don Quixote by Miguel de Cervantes. God helps those who help themselves. That's true. Looking at the solar eclipse through the internet would be much safer. You're going to watch it online and in real life at the same time. That's pretty cool, Ghost. I don't know when Halley's Comet's due. Well, I think it's 2026, but I'm probably mistaken. Do not stare at the sun with binoculars or anything. You should not stare at the sun, period. Whether there's a solar eclipse or not. Never stare at the sun. It's not good for your eyes. God will not come to the aid of those who refuse to try. We must exert ourselves if we want to succeed. Oh, 2061? Okay. I hope a lot of people will not lose their sight either. Don't look at the sun and it'll be fine. That's probably true, Dirt. I don't know if there's a total eclipse everywhere. Snake of Egypt. A partial eclipse, I agree. Good fences make good neighbors. Okay, I wonder... Familiarity breeds contempt is kind of like that. Good neighbors respect one another's property. Good farmers, for example, maintain their fences in order to keep their livestock from wandering onto neighbor farms. This proverb appears in the poem Mending Wall by Robert Frost. Good, hi, Ron. Good early evening. Hello, ES. Mer2, welcome to our Periscope show. I never was 486. Yeah, Robert Frost said good fences make good neighbors. A good man is hard to find. Yeah, raccoons are pretty wily. They'll pretty much climb a fence. Yes, I've heard that one too, Chucklehead Charlie. Switzerland. The cows are fitted with portholes in their stomach to test digestion. They're going to test a more balanced pasture for the animals. I wonder, I think that's kind of what they did to add those methane bags on to them. I can't remember. Oh, it's the day of the Hajj pilgrimage. Wow. Yes, so dependable, trustworthy help is not easy to get. The grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. I don't know who said the future ain't what it used to be. That's pretty funny. Or a feeding tube, Bengalitis. But yeah, you're right. Something like that. Maybe. I know. How do you know if it's greener if you haven't seen it? That's a great job, 486. I hope you find the right woman for you. People are never satisfied with their own situation. They always think others have it better. You might think David has it better, even though you have a good income, you're kind, you heat your home. Yeah, I like that one. No matter where you go, there you are. Sometimes. I don't always wear slippers. Like right now, I'm just wearing socks. It only appears greener in some people's minds. Yes. I know. Well, a lot of people, I know someone who like moved a lot. And I always said that about that person. The grass is always greener on the other side. When really it's just a different shade. It's not greener, it's just a different shade. You have all the comforts of home in your cardboard box. What about those weird boxes David showed us, where they live in, I think it was China or Japan? I think it was China. Yeah, I know, Bengalitis. I need to like actually call my friends to have another ladies' night out. I'm gonna see my sister tomorrow. Yeah, they were like even smaller than shipping containers. They're like plywood boxes. They're very strange. All right. People are never satisfied in their own situation. They always think others have it better. Great oaks from little acorns grow. I don't think so, 652. Just like a granny flat. Yeah. I'll ask David to see. This age has really cool technology, or is really cool technologically, but too many people. Well, why don't you go and help her, Dry King? Great things or people often have humble origins. You're busy? What, busy chatting in my chat room? All right. And your hands are full. I believe, well, I could be wrong, 471. You asked me these questions. I always hesitate to answer unless I actually know the answer, but I believe it's like the person's, like a magnus opus is like, I believe it is their greatest accomplishment. A great work. The greatest achievement of an artist or a writer. That's a magnus opus. Anything free is worth what you pay for it. Ooh, I like that one, 652. A magnum opus. Correct. Not Magnus opus. Magnum opus. Correct. Half a loaf is better than none. Okay, there have been issues, all right. It's kind of like that. Yeah, one bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Something is better than nothing. What happened to the hair? I don't know. Ha ha ha, 228. You're tired, carpet muncher. Maybe your body's saying you need some sleep. You always wanted to be a procrastinator. Never got around to it. That's hilarious. That's a good one. Haste makes waste. Oh, I like that. Yes, I do have gray hair. You see those? I'm liking getting a little bit of gray hair though. Yes, Drag King, I will do that. At once. Yes, measure twice, cut once. That's a good one. Yeah, we earn our gray hair. There you go. I don't know, you might see less gray on that side. But I've decided not to dye my hair yet. I mean, I'm not 40 yet, so... I'm kind of like... I like aging just a little bit. Yeah. Body language is important. Stop and think about what you're doing. The rent is too damn high. All right. Measure twice, cut once. Make sure your measurement is correct before you cut it. Anyway, acting too quickly, because acting too quickly may actually slow things down. He who hesitates is lost. Well, you got to be able to measure in all kinds of different ways. Oh, real genius is a superb comparison. That's your belief. Ooh, I like that. Think twice, post once. Yeah, oh well. 471. You live life as is. You just accept it. A person who spends too much time deliberating about what to do loses a chance to act altogether. He who laughs last laughs best. I've resigned myself. Life is a joke for you. He who laughs last doesn't get the joke. That would be me. Revenge is a dish best served cold. I don't really understand that. I do like that. You can dance if you want to. You can leave your world behind. But I haven't been dancing in a long time. If marriage were outlawed, only outlaws would have in-laws. Ooh, that's a cute one too. You may laugh now thinking you've won, but you may not prevail in the end. I've liked to dance. I did like to dance. Dance, dance. All she wants to do is dance. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Well, for someone, there's really not any places to go dancing around here. I mean, I guess they opened up a club, but it's like a tiny little town, and interesting, Ghost. Yeah, that's pretty much it, Lazy Bones. No one is angrier than a woman who has been rejected in love. This proverb is adapted from a line in the play The Mourning Bride, Mourning, by William Congreve, an English author of the late 17th and early 18th centuries. They said, see also, music has charms to soothe a savage breast. Sorry, music has charms to soothe a savage breast. Here today, gone tomorrow. I like that one. Don't hit your own face with a claw hammer. Yeah, David could. Well, David doesn't do candles, though. And I don't blame him. I don't really like candles either. We don't like the smell. Here today, gone for tomorrow. Aw. Life is transient. Ooh, I like that. Good vocabulary, 652. Hi, Ben in Ohio. Thank you for rebroadcasting me. I appreciate it. I'm not going to go look at your show because I don't go to other people's shows, but thanks anyway. Thank you, 224. I've never seen anyone dance on the ferry. That's probably it, 712. What is present or important now may be absent or irrelevant in the future. Hitch your wagon to a star. Yes, dream big. Exactly. Associate with excellence. Ooh, good job. I like that. Good vocabulary, 588. Now you just need a wagon. Oh, what you have now was only dreamed about in the past. The last Mimsy was filmed there where I am. Dental x-rays, toothpicks, ha ha ha. You published a paper on your 3D time contained in another 3D plane ad infinitum like a week ago. You've been partially validated. I don't think dreams are a waste of time. On Whitby?
String theory tries to answer.
Yes, thank you, Sammy Stat, for correctly spelling Whitby. Yes, I'm in Washington State. Yeah, there are lots of game developers up here. So, wait, what is it I'm supposed to watch? The last Mimsy. Don't worry. I used to think would-be was spelled that way too. Oh, that's him. But I'm not wearing that shirt. Is he like playing an older video of me? Who? What? What? There's a full page, Big Think. Oh, I love bigthink.com. I haven't visited Big Think in like a long time though. Talk is cheap because supply exceeds demand. Very good. Alright, aim high, hope for great things. This advice appears in the works of Ralph Waldo Emerson. Honesty is the best policy. Well, I love that, 471. Even a small star shines in the darkness. You can have bacon and eggs for breakfast. No. Yogi Berra said repetition works if you do it over and over. Yeah, as the boy cried wolf, that people stopped listening, so that's not good. That's pretty hilarious, Rex. Okay. Honesty is more effective than dishonest scheming. This saying appears in Don Quixote by Miguel de Cervantes. Hope springs eternal. Did you know the saying, life after death is a misnomer? It should be life after life. Ooh, good point. Okay. All right. Hang in there. Yes, people always hope for the best, even in the face of adversity. The saying is from an essay on man by Alexander Pope. (2007). Interesting. I didn't really know about the last Mimsy being filmed over here. Yes, David can use power tools all he wants. Hope springs eternal. Is that what someone thinks when their parachute doesn't open before they hit the cornfield? A link is only as long as your longest strong chain. Some people without a brain do an awful lot of talking. Okay, the last Mimsy, okay. It was Seattle? Filming locations. Seattle, Washington. Is it set on Whidbey Island? Because it said filming. It was Seattle, Roberts Creek, and British Columbia, and Vancouver, British Columbia. Trollorama. Sarah, why don't you let Dave eat his Y2K food and come eat crawfish fettuccine with you? Ooh, that sounds pretty good. No expired ingredients. Well, today I had a great salad. No expired ingredients. Okay, so 2 siblings, they travel with their mother from Seattle to the family cottage in Whidbey Island to spend a couple of days. That looks good. I probably should see it. Last Mimsy. Official movie. Wait, that's 2 minutes and 29 seconds. I'll have to find out where I can see it. Aw, thank you, 507. Yeah, they are. Crawfish is crayfish, like a little lake lobster. David doesn't have a brother named Denny, just so you know. Fettuccine. Oof. Crawfish, not crayfish? I don't know. Alright. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Alright, good to know you don't have a brother named Denny. Never give up. I agree. Good job, 652. You've got to go to summer school. Red Lobster serves crayfish as lobster. Yeah. Push 2. You have no push left. Ooh, those are really good. Yes, keep trying. If the mountain will not come to Muhammad, then Muhammad will go to the mountain. Oh, that's funny, scissor fights. Grab your opportunities. Yes. Don't let anything stand in your way. Dr. Meow says that's actually a false quote. If someone won't do this thing for me, I'll do it for myself. The proverb can also be interpreted this way. We may find a way to make a difficult situation better if we simply think about the situation in different terms. Oh, it's the other way around? If Muhammad...
It was a challenge, I'll tell you. I had to go from frozen to cooked.
Oh my goodness.
On a breasted chicken.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's not your fault. I'm glad I did it. I realized, you know, there's a certain way to do it. It worked out great. You can have some if you want. Hi. Greetings, everybody.
If the shoe fits, wear it. And if the glove doesn't fit, you must quit. No.
That's true. I mean, that's, you know, because OJ's still released now. He's going out on his own accord. He's on probation, though. No, the chicken was slaughtered ahead of time, Chucklehead. I just managed to, you know, scrape it off of the discount rack at the store. It was going to go to waste if I didn't eat it. It's meant to be.
The proverb first appeared as if the cap fits, which may have referred to a fool's cap. The later version has become more common and is associated with the glass slipper in the fairy tale Cinderella. I like that better. Yeah. I like that version better.
I think we had a lot of great knowledge sharing tonight. This is
really
awesome. You get a little bit of trivia. Okay.
when your feet were growing, your mom would say you were going to be able to walk on water. My brother's feet grew so big that he wears a huge shoe size now.
Shoe size. He's a big shoe guy. He's like
Big shoe.
15-inch or something.
1 foot is 15 and 1 is 14.
I've always thought 1 foot was 12 inches. I guess I'm new to the whole thing. Well, I'm learning about how to get to be a reveal. I'm learning at how to get to be an old age of 256 years old on this website. So if you want to learn how to be 256-year-old man, you can do that right there, right now, whenever you want. This is not a Botox ad. This is just ways in which you can elongate your life. I'm hoping a lot of you are wanting to live a long life, because I don't think we should have wars. And it does look like a lot of tabs, I'll tell you that. Let me get rid of this one.
There's a pretty cool show on the CW, which I have on Roku but there, even though there's commercials, CW Seed, and it's called Forever, and you can get rid of that one too if you want.
Okay, Forever.
But it's about a guy who lives forever.
Oh, cool. Well, this is a man who lived to be, they say he lived forever. His name was Black Box. No, that's not Black Box.
Oh, the Valiant Thor.
Oh, she remembers the name. The Valiant Thor.
Well, it was down below.
Oh, she read it. Okay, that's cheating. Let's see if we can get the Valiant. Oh,
You're not going to be able to get it because you're inside the thing.
I got to get the box up a little higher. And Windows 10 did this to us. It's Windows 10's fault. There we go. This was the Valiant Thor in 1957, I believe, when he was meeting with Werner von Braun and other scientists. And he supposedly had a 1200 IQ.
Hello, Blum. Welcome. Spread the news that we're here.
After jaw reduction surgery, I managed to look normal now.
You kind of do look like the Valiant.
I do.
Thor
I'm just
that
trying to light it
everybody
up.
believed was an alien, you know.
I know. I can't get over that. No, he had a lantern jaw, more like Jay Leno. Well, thanks, Sarah, for coming in and giving me a great backup. I have millions of viewers. Thanks, Rodney. It looks like Max Headroom, doesn't it?
Yeah, it kind of does. Well, you kind of look like Max Headroom.
Well, Max Headroom was written about me, Sarah, in the 1980s. Oh,
yeah, you told me that.
It's a true story. My friends were all in Hollywood and producers and television, and I used to say, yeah, I hear this amazing story about this, this character that seems a lot like me. And they said, no, Dave, you are Max Headroom. I mean, they were looking at your comedy routine in 1978, and they must have noticed that I was at the Comedy Store in 1978. I made this amazing appearance, and it was like a flash. It's like everyone loved it. And then I never did it again. Okay, let's move on. Palm Beach charity cancels fundraiser at Trump Mar-a-Lago. They're dropping like flies, everybody. Trump is just putting his foot in his mouth too many times. Foot and mouth disease doesn't play well with big people in the upper echelons. They look at Trump as a plutocrat, quick money, completely given money by his dad, and never did much better. So now the charities are dropping. They're canceling fundraisers at Trump Mar-a-Lago. They canceled an event, yeah. Another charity, the Preservation Foundation of Palm Beach, said on Facebook that it had pulled its annual dinner dance from Trump's Palm Beach estate. So Trump, I'm sorry, but resignation's around the door. Yeah, it's the only credible way to save face after all of his problems. I think you could... Thank you. I was never on JTV, Blom. I was on Blog TV. Trump didn't turn $1 million. He got a $10 million inheritance from his dad, and he went through it in 1 year. Then his brother and sister bailed him out, and his dad bailed him out prior to that. Oh yeah. Trump wouldn't even pay out. He's so greedy, he wouldn't even pay out money in an inheritance. When they split the inheritance among his family members, he didn't even pay out money to his brother, his oldest brother's family. His oldest brothers died of alcoholism, as you may know, but the family never got a dime, and then they asked for help, medical support. They thought that's the least they should get for their disabled child. And Trump said, no, you're not going to get any money at all. He never gave them any money at all. That's Trump. And he took $10 million from his dad's inheritance and blew it in 1 year. Trump donated other people's millions to charities. You're right. And then he used his own Trump golf courses to lure people in, saying, there's no charge. We have these facilities. We'd love to have you. Please do your charity here. And then he charged to the charity for the facility. This happened time and time again. Hi, guest 396, just returning. Thanks for announcing your presence. I've been around since Blog TV days. From 2008 to 2015, when we kind of, or actually, I would say they closed down in 2010, was it? I believe. 2012, I think they closed. And then from then on, we've been here. Lack of tautness in my forehead is a sign of extreme worry. I asked an expert on my lines in my forehead. He said, have you been frowning a lot from answering questions and listening to people? And I'm going, yeah. Like even now, you see how my eyebrows go close together? There's no place to take her dancing. Yeah. Well, these are two prong holes. One's positive and the other's negative. When I get my third eye, they told me I could have it installed. It's quite possible, but who knows? Mind reading, x-ray vision, these types of things, the third eye will be able to keep. Nevada Parole Board unaware of O.J. Simpson's old conviction. So now it's getting weird, a little dicey for O.J. Not only was he caught masturbating in the jail cell prior to being released, but now he's fighting through, at his parole hearing last month, the Nevada Parole Board discussed in detail the robbery that put him behind bars and his conduct, but one piece of Mr. Simpson's record escaped the notice of the board, the news media, the most of the millions of people watching on TV. During the hearing, before his 2008 conviction of robbery, Mr. Simpson had no history of criminal conviction. Well, that was incorrect. Mr. Simpson was acquitted in 1995 of the murders of his wife, former wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and Ronald Goldman. In 1989, he pled no contest in LA to a misdemeanor battery of Mrs. Simpson, who was then his wife. But the Nevada Parole Board did not have that information. Pleading no contest to battery is seen as a mark against his record. Anyway, this guy's been through enough. You imagine masturbating and being caught by the guard. Hey, OJ, you're not allowed to masturbate. This is right during his hearing. I think he needs to get released. He looks like such a warm, friendly guy, too. He's got a real nice face now. Calm, collected. You can tell he's reached nirvana and found a better place. Isn't that nice? You know what? This is true. Prison systems actually make people more dangerous. Yeah, not only was he the greatest running back in world history, next to a couple others, Walter Payton being one of them, he absolutely is a fierce individual. He looks ready to do some serious damage, doesn't he? Whoa. All right. Trump didn't pay taxes because he used a major capital loss of nearly $1 billion in 1995. We know that because that's the only tax return we've seen. I can't believe it taking this long for Robert Mueller to get the special investigator to do something. Earth to Robert Mueller. Subpoena Donald Trump's tax records. Hello? What are you waiting for? Thoughts of the family slain today, Florida? Yeah, it's pretty serious. Hi. Yeah, how you doing, man? Long time no talk. Well, 6 police officers shot, 2 dead in Florida, Pennsylvania. Let's see if this plays. It doesn't. Let's go here.
It breaks my heart to have to come speak to you tonight about another senseless tragedy, one that's resulted in the death of one of our police officers and a grave critical situation of another. This evening, Sergeant Sam Howard, a 10-year veteran of the Kissimmee Police Department, and Officer Matthew Baxter, a 3-year veteran of the Kissimmee Police Department, checked out with suspicious persons in the area of Palmway and Cypress in the city limits of Kissimmee. That was at approximately 9:27 this evening. At approximately 9:32, we received our first 911 phone call to our comm center indicating that the police officers were shot. Officers immediately responded to the area and found 2 of their fallen brothers gravely injured on the roadway. They immediately began first aid measures, called for rescue personnel. Both were transported to the hospital. I can inform you that Officer Matthew Baxter has succumbed to his injuries tonight. Sergeant Sam Howard is in grave critical condition, and the prognosis does not look good.
Wow. Okay, lots of potential deaths here. 6 police officers have been shot, 2 are dead. This man is in custody. That's a good sign. His name is Everett Miller. I hope this, this is more than likely a real event. Whenever the perp is in custody, it's usually a real event. Okay, we have another confirmation of the censorship in here, folks. We have, people finally make it in. The ones who are really they're putting a lot of effort in here. They say censorship is unreal. Took 1 hour and 52 minutes to get in the room. Jail Mark. David, it took 10 minutes for the network news to get to that story. Really? Europe, we don't talk about that organization that is simply trying to interrupt the flow of what we're doing. We're 8 years into this. The last thing we need is some interloper trying to intercept what we're doing. I can't tell you how many people have started fourth parties. At least 20 people have started fourth parties in our tenure on this show. 20 people, at least. So they're trying to intercept what we're doing, because what we're doing is leading a very important battle against the two-party system. WTF, it took me, here's another case, another person. It took me 2 hours to get through the show. WTF, Dave, what's going on? Okay, I want all of you to know that bookmark this link right here. And every time you come in the show, you can at least, sorry, wrong link. You can at least go to our YouTube site and click on that link, and you will get a full show, at least up to that point, and you can talk to me through the YouTube network like Ronnie Brown is doing right now. Ron says the Florida is slain in the zip code of Baxter Howard. Huh, okay. Well, apparently this is a personal story for a lot of people in Florida, so I don't think we have any concern about what kind of things you watch on the internet, as long as you're not violating any laws of obscenity. Well, poor coding is what Mark does, but he hides behind the poor coding. The poor coding that means that his system doesn't run very well on HTML5, and he doesn't want to correct it. He's getting paid to censor me, and he doesn't really get anything from promoting his website, Vaughn. In fact, you'll notice that he doesn't hardly do any marketing on the internet. This is by design, because he's being told not to grow and to keep me down. That's what's going on. And it's not working because the UHF viewership around the world has truly been a big, huge mainstay as to growing potential for us. So she is, Chelsea Manning, everybody. New bathing suit issue. Chelsea's sporting a beautiful leotard there. Nothing just happened, Pickles. I don't know. I mean, try not to get too aroused, guys. Chelsea's definitely going to drag you into that world of transgenderism. She's hot and she's ready for action. And some of you have eaten too much and will probably not get a date very soon. We want to warn you of the dangers of slippery floors when you're on your electric chairs. This could happen to anybody who happens to weigh 475 pounds. And I'm doing basically Operation Distraction tonight to keep our mind off of the fact that our president is involved deeply with the Russians. And we're finding it out every day. And what Mueller is going to find is going to probably shock the world. And the GOP is fearing the damage is done by Trump, that they want to kind of bail ship before it gets too bad for them. Memo from the GOP. Thank you, Scissor Fight. You had to look away from the picture, yeah. Well, people are doing corrective things to lose weight. That's important to know. Not everybody's facing, huge weight issues, but when you do face huge weight issues, and we all do, you have to just, stop eating, exercise more. GOP fears damage by Trump. As the week dominated by Trump's response to the violence in Charlottesville draws to a close, many Republicans are worried that serious damage has been done to their party. I don't know if you're aware of this, but the Republicans are the ones that signed the Civil Rights Act. It wasn't the Democrats. Democrats have a whole history of racism. So don't think for a second Democrats are like holier than thou art. So in deference to the Republicans, they're kind of getting the bad rap again because of Trump's inability to outright say the Nazis did it, and we abhor that. Yeah, so that's a big thing. For Trump to have hid that Nazi factor from the first encounter is a little strange. Specifically, they argue that Trump may have set back years' efforts to make the GOP more appealing to an increasingly diverse American electorate. There's no mistake the seriousness with which they view the situation. One veteran Republican strategist who asked for anonymity to speak candidly told The Hill that Trump's response was an effing disaster. I have no idea where we go from here. Few were assuaged by the news Friday of the White House chief strategist Steve Bannon's dismissal. Bannon, who came to the Trump from the alt-right world of Breitbart News, was a voice for economic nationalism within the White House. So Bannon kind of carried the whole Patriot Tea Party thing in one fell swoop, and now he's gone, so who's holding it together? I have never, ever worked for any organization like the CIA. Never. I've never taken funds from any secret society. And I did an IQ test that claims exactly what I did. You can see my IQ test that I took when I was 15 years old at davidsponheim.com. The test results are accurate, and I have proof of that test. Whew. All right. Now that my ideas have been stolen by Trump, and it's pretty sad that this guy he's capable of stealing ideas left and right like he's done. I mean, he's even taken a song of ours, which is really shocking. And I understand a couple people have already told me that he's taken the Can't Stop song of ours, which was created by Scissor Fight for us, and used it at his rallies. Can you imagine? Now he's taken our song.
We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop, we can't stop. We can't stop, we can't stop. We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop.
So let's be clear. In this coming election year, vote for David Sponheim, American Party.
Sponheim for president.
Can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, can't stop, and we won't stop.
In this coming election, vote for David Sponheim.
Okay. All right. We are not stopping this. We're going to Google Phoenix Marie right now. That's a porn star, dude. I don't want to Google a porn star. Okay, we're going to play Mr. Right now just to punish you for that terrible link. Yeah. Or should we wait a little bit on Mr. Right? No, I don't work for the CIA. That's preposterous. Oh, she's married? Really? Okay, so it's okay to look at her pictures and if she's married? Come on. This is ridiculous. What we need to focus on is the cure to all of our problems. Okay? It's a very simple plan. It means that if we have food and water, we will have prosperity. It's a very simple plan. I came up with this concept, and it's really it's rather amazing how simple it is, but at the same time it's brilliant. If every nation in the world had It Was Scissor Fight's song, and it's stolen by Donald Trump. That's exactly what I'm saying. He gave it to us. I can't show evidence yet. But as I was told by 3 people that he was using it in his rally recently. All right, so water automatically gives people an opportunity to grow food. Am I right? I'm right. And in lieu of that, there's absolutely no reason why we wouldn't make sure that people have plenty of water, right? Well, our country isn't doing that. They aren't. No, I'm not slandering anybody. I was told by 3 people that he played our Can't Stop song at his rallies. Thank you. Now, either 3 people were lying to me or, hey, you know. But if he likes the song so much, I guess, you know, he recognizes my greatness. And it wasn't even my song. Scissor Fight developed that. Oh, excuse me, ma'am. Thank you. He can't sue me for slander. No. No public figure can sue anybody for slander. Yeah, I really did. Go to davidsponheim.com and you'll see my test results. I skyrocketed in a couple areas. There's a couple areas that I admittedly am not wonderful on. I have issues with new learning processes. That's why I'm not a coder. But it doesn't imply that I'm not intelligent or have greater knowledge in some areas. If I wanted to code, I could spend all my time coding, and it probably would be very lucrative. But I really don't enjoy learning coding. I don't think anybody does. But if you do, you should start working immediately. No, I can't sue anybody I don't know the name of. Megachurch pastor resigns from Trump's evangelical council. Ooh, it's starting to drop like flies now. Another one bites the dust. Yeah. The president's 2 corporate advisory councils made headlines earlier this week when multiple CEOs resigned in protest to the president's mishandling of his response to the white supremacist-inspired violence in Charlottesville. Okay, earlier the arts community joined the protest. Entire members of the Committee on the Arts and Humanities resigned in one collective letter. I did not know that. So that's interesting. One open collective letter they wrote. And curiously, however, the one council tasked with providing moral and ethical guidance to the president, at least ostensibly, had been silent. But the president's evangelical advisory board is comprised of pastors and other religious leaders from across the country. Reverend A.R. Bernard of the Christian Cultural Center in Brooklyn handed in his resignation formally Tuesday after quietly stepping away months ago. He announced his departure on Twitter, like his Supreme Leader. He says, my statement regarding my resignation to the President's Evangelical Advisory Board. Then he went on to talk about it. Okay. There's a collective letter there somewhere. Yeah. The false equivalencies you push cannot stand, they said. The administration's refusal to quickly and unequivocally condemn the cancer of hatred only further emboldens those who wish America ill. There you have another one. All right, we're going to remove anybody who's constantly bothering us in the show and trying to denigrate me. I'm fighting an uphill battle against trolls, haters, paid trolls too, and people that just try to discredit what we're doing. It's kind of amazing. It was quite a strong statement, yeah. Well, I can tell you that Donald Trump did not immediately condemn the Nazis when this happened, and that was a departure from any previous administration in history. Well, gall dang, you finally got a 60 on your last IQ test. That's good, dude. All right. See where these people stoop to the lowest things in the chat. It's amazing what worthless scumbags they are. All right, so the House Democrats have introduced measures urging Trump to undergo mental exams. All right. Well, let's be clear.
Call from Tony. To accept, press 1.
All right, we got, hey there, Tony, what's going on? We got people asking Trump for a mental exam, rigorous mental exam.
Hi, David. It's Tony from Steve Bannon's office. How are you?
Oh, hi. So nice to call you. Thank you so very much for calling.
Hey, we wanted to give you kudos on your blimp idea with Walmart. Way to go, buddy.
Hey, everybody's taken my idea. The original blimp idea was promoted to Boeing in 2009, and it's been really successful. Thanks for acknowledging my great success. I'm not looking for money, though, so I'm unlike you or other people. So Steve Bannon, is he going to get any money being the major editor at Breitbart? Do you think he'll pick up a six-figure salary again? Today he doesn't want to answer the tough questions. All right. Boy, these people are really stooping at ridiculous crap. OPEC Tony hasn't called tonight. He tried to get in earlier. He couldn't. Oh, you're smiling at your own voice. We have 729 million viewers in the last 57 days. Thank you. I wonder what happened to the Reverend Sun Young Moon United Trinity, or I believe it's United Church of Christ, or is it? Whatever happened to those people when Reverend Sun Young Moon died? Did he pass a torch to another Messiah? Anyone know? Are any of you in the Moonies, or a member of the Moonies? Yeah, I mean, what happened to the group? Did they just get acquired by Benny Hinn or something? Well, Lex, I could have been a music producer. I stayed away from the industry because they pushed cocaine on me. Back in the early 80s, I was forced to be around people snorting coke all the time. And I didn't do coke, so they blacklisted me. I know. Tragic story of blacklisting in the Hollywood industry and in the music industry. Oh, yeah. I alluded to the invisible fence earlier. I'll be talking about that in just a bit. Let me get rid of the main header here. Okay, this could be Tony. Hey, is this Tony? Tony?
No, it's Rodney, brother. How are you?
Oh, okay. I was expecting Tony, the truck driver who works for a living. What's up?
Hey, brother. I just wanted to say, I mean, can you imagine how annoying you'd be on cocaine?
Oh, God, I would be terrible on cocaine. I'm glad I've never taken it.
Holy shit.
My brain would be fried. With my ability to talk for hours on end, I would be almost as disturbing to listen to as Donald Trump. Who, by the way...
I got an idea, brother.
Yeah.
What do you say we send you down to Guantanamo Bay with a kilo and we have you just terrorize the terrorists by talking their ear off?
God, dude, it's so illegal to suggest such a thing. Why would you say such a thing? I thought you were a dude that's totally into legality, man.
Dude, Cuba doesn't count, brother.
Cuba doesn't count. Cuba is everything. We should open a door to trade with Cuba. I mean, seriously, how much are Havana cigars in America still? I don't work. I retired.
Not too much.
Yeah, well, they're probably making them with regular tobacco anyway. Anyway, so we got to open the door to trade with Cuba.
Cuba's going to be the new Las Vegas. It's going to be the new hip spot, Dave.
It will, yeah. Cuba will.
You'll never be able to travel there, but I'll tell you about it, okay?
No, I believe Havana will make a comeback. I know that Trump put the kibosh on this because he has properties in Miami that he wants to make a lot of money on with Russian mobster money, and he doesn't want Cuba taking over that business because Havana could easily take over that business.
Allegedly, Dave.
Allegedly. Oh, I'm sorry. Allegedly. Allegedly, he has business with mobsters in Cuba.
Please,
I mean, in Miami.
Mr. Trump, okay?
Oh, really? So you're clinging to the last stump of the Trump administration? Wow. Okay, I'm just feeling you out on, not in that weird way, but finding out exactly.
Everything's going great, Dave.
Everything's going great. You got the Democrats calling for Trump to have a mental exam. I don't think anything's going great, dude.
All right, listen.
Are you in denial?
Ridiculous, because your average liberal needs the mental exam in the first place. I mean, consider the source.
Okay, well, we'll admit a lot of people probably need mental exams. I'm not going to force a mental exam on Donald Trump. We know that that's irrelevant. What really matters is whether the American people...
All the Trump haters out there seem to have something in common. None of them have jobs. They all got way too much free time on their hands.
Yeah. I hear you, man. People have a lot of free time, but the bottom line is you don't have job replacements for the automation that's headed our way, so you Republicans are kind of like deadwood. Okay, so mental exam or not mental exam? What do you say?
That was really great tonight.
Hey, it's going great. Thanks for calling. Appreciate the call.
Hey, Sarah, I love you.
Okay, I'll tell her not. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, that was the Rodney, the professional troll I was telling you about. House Democrat introduces measures to get Trump a mental exam. I think that's a good starting point if he doesn't want to give up. How come he retired? Well, because I have enough money to live the rest of my life in a comfortable way, in the manner I'm accustomed to. Kneeling on beans, eating rice and beans. It'd be great. I know I can live a long life eating rice and beans, so I'm not worried. I'm even thinking of strapping snack bars on my body with duct tape. And open up Dave's snack bar. Constant food wherever you go. You just pull a snack bar off of your duct tape. Maybe I should make a coat that has snack bars in it. You know, that'd be kind of a cool thing. Well, I mean, just to survive the coming apocalypse. You could cover it with a burqa, you know. Travel incognito wherever you go. And if anyone approaches you at the airport, say, you cannot touch me. I am wearing a burqa. Because they don't touch people at the airport who wear burqas. And then if they ask you, why are you not allowing us to touch you? Just say, it's all snack bars. All the snack bars. They don't want anyone to touch the snack bars. Okay. The Monday special eclipse starts at 10 a.m. Don't be late. I'll be here. Sarah will be outside with a laptop. I'll try to go outside with her, and we'll have a shared moment where we'll hug each other and share the moment with you. Yeah, I know. Well, some people actually wake up. Oh, it's at 9:30, so we'll have missed it at 10. Well, Sarah wanted to work. I didn't recommend it, but she wanted to work because she doesn't really need to work, but she likes to be, you know, in service. She likes to perform service for people. Yeah, it contains how many snack bars can you fit in one single trench coat / burqa? What about the trench coat shaped like a burqa? So you have Ziploc or like Velcro underneath and it covers it, looks just like a... No, Rodney is Dave Acton. You lose, Chicha. No, that's not Rodney. If anybody's Dave Acton, it's Dave Acton. Well, you can put solar panels on yurts. I've built 2 yurts, and I can tell you, you just have to get up there with some masking tape. Actually, a duct tape works better. Duct tape the solar panels to the outside of your your yurt. Yurts are prefabricated buildings as low as $4,000 in cost that you can build anywhere. But if you fully insulate them with the full, you could have about a 16-foot yurt anywhere in the country and have kind of a mini tiny house for under $6,000, including a fireplace. So, I mean, they're pretty cool if you want to build something that's instantaneous. That's if you buy some property out in the middle of nowhere and you want to build something. You can carry it in a box. It's a fairly big box, though, I got to tell you. It'd be hard. You'd have to carry it in the back of a pickup truck. Yeah, duct tape is a good all-around useful product, I think. Oh, so the eclipse in Seattle starts at 9 o'clock. Oh my gosh. Maximum occurs at 10:20 a.m. So we'll be in there at 9 a.m. to get started with on Monday. Snuggle soup on board the flight, right? Pockets could contain ramen. Lots of snack bars and ramen. They found out that ramen has fluoride in it, lots of fluoride. I was quite shocked about that. It's not something I'm happy about. Yeah, so this organizer who threatened Heather Heyer, who happens to be the guy who put this whole thing together, Jason Kessler. He is a former Occupy Wall Street organizer. So it smells more and more like George Soros is the cause of this entire problem. And what's worse, he says that he blames a cocktail of Xanax, Ambien, and booze on his tweet that said that slain... Well, I don't want to tell her... I don't want to spread bad statements about the deceased. The decedent woman is really... wrong place at the wrong time. Well, chances are, if you're like a 2-minute sex act person, you should be able to get laid during the absolute final moment of the solar eclipse. Problem is, it'll be in the morning and you both should shower first. Highly recommended. Do I? No, I don't. Thank you for asking. Two dogs and 2 ducks in her house? That's pretty funny. Well, Tech Wallet doesn't realize the Mandela effect is caused by people going back in history and revising history. I believe that. Ducks really are pretty profuse with their fecal matter. Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm implying he was a Democrat. An example of dirty tricks by the left. Yeah, Kessler is a Democrat working for the Occupy Wall Street movement. And then here he is assembling speeches for the KKK in Charlottesville. So it all points to George Soros. Tonight we're going to do a 1 hour and 48-minute reveal of George Soros. Let me get that tuned in because that could get taken off the internet if I don't get it ready. Yeah, I don't want to miss it because they said it was already banned once. No, I don't think white America is going to overreact. You know, I think people are remaining calm because they're so heavily fluoridated. There's no way they're going to trigger a race war. If they think they're going to try to start a race war, they would cut off the fluoride and the chemtrails in our environment. They're using a gene in the chemtrails to lower our extremist nature. It's the VMAT2 gene, and it's being used to tranquilize our population. Yeah, would you like to know more about the smart dust that they're spraying in the air? I love to talk about it because it's kind of an interesting subject. The VMAT2 gene is and was designed over 10 years ago at the Pentagon to lower extremist mentality. It was tested on rats, and they found that rats became very submissive when given this gene. So they're using it on humans now. So you're the human guinea pigs that they're using it on. So if you're wondering why you don't want to start a race war, it's because you have the VMAT2 gene in your lungs. Yes, one of our goals is to unfluoridate the human race. We have the highest level of fluoride in our water system. 67% of our municipal water systems have fluoride in them. And I'm definitely going to stop that. And we will do sample kits to anybody who wants them at the White House. We'll be mailing you off a sample kit for your water in your area, and you can send it back, postage paid free. We'll be doing a test of about probably 1,000 of these test kits. You may qualify, so if you want to test your water for free, we'll do it for you. And we will be sending out a representative in your area. And this is after I order 0 fluoride in our water system. I'll wait about a month and a half to get everyone in compliance, and then I'll set out the water supplies, test kits. And then we'll know for sure if your area is still contaminated. My posture and overall body language show positive growth and win-win. It's a win-win. I have a win-win persona. I can't help but feel confident that this 2020 election will bring a win for a third party. The problem is we're going to be censored all the way up until that time period. So it's going to require more than just, me talking every night on the show. I have a very strong feeling that I will be chosen as Vice President of the United States. That's the starting point, to break the censorship once and for all. Yeah, we're in the total eclipse zone. Not really. We're not in Oregon. We'll get very close to a total eclipse. Yeah, the lead in the water is very bad, Chucklehead, but fluoride is just as bad as lead. Believe it or not, it's slightly worse than lead. Fluoride is. It's been known to cause neurotoxic damage to your brain. Your IQ is virtually 20 points lower, as much as 20 points lower because of fluoride. All right. In case you didn't know the dangers of chemicals, chemtrails, GMOs, I do other shows during the week. Wednesday, we talk about a lot of these things on Wasteful Wednesday. Because a lot of this is big pharma controlling our lives, forcing vaccines on us. Fluoride going into our system is coming from industrial waste from the aluminum factories. They literally wash the smokestacks down with water, and they take the water slurry and put it in our water. You've got the Powerball up to 530 million monkey times. Okay. So you drop your IQ to 188? Okay. Well, here's your brain. Yeah, that's your brain. And here is a very good detergent that you can apply to your brain if you're having problems thinking. Just apply a little brain wash. I believe 2 scoops will get you a good cleaning. $534 million and is just fraudulently drawn. I don't believe the Powerball thing. I really believe it's a bunch of crap, because the last guy, one of the guys that won the Powerball last time was a hedge fund manager. It's hard to believe that these people don't have insides on the lottery. Now, a golden retriever has just made their owner very happy. He discovered $85,000 worth of black tar heroin in the backyard. Yeah, now this is one lucky golden retriever, man. Yamhill County, Oregon, golden retriever owner thought his dog found a time capsule in their backyard when he started digging one day. Instead, he discovered approximately $85,000 worth of black tar heroin, according to the sheriff. When his owners found a package underground, they told authorities they thought it was a time capsule. They filmed opening it. It was a drug. They identified the substance as 15 ounces of black tar heroin. And I don't believe that he's going to be able to sell the black tar heroin to get his $85,000 back. And I'm sure they confiscated it. Okay, the state of Maine brought in $1.4 billion. Really? You think they're crooked, one investigator says? They're all corrupt in a legal way. Good point. 100%. Well, you know something, one investigator, you would be perfect on my National Gaming Council. I did not say that people who are doing black tar heroin, a lot of them are Wall Street executives. I did not imply they were black. A heroine is a female hero. Trump says, you need to heal, Dave. Mark 21, where are you hearing this from Trump? Trump hasn't mentioned my name publicly that I know of. So where are you hearing this? You can't help it that you're good looking. Just listen when I tell you. Okay. Our great country has been divided for a decade. It will come together again. Sometimes protest is needed in order to heal, and heal he will. We will. Trump is going to probably divide the country some more before we find some common ground. He's a divider. He's not a uniter. Where are you guys getting this guy's a uniter? He's afraid. You know, I've never really been a white trash slum person. No, I've always kind of been middle class, even though I'm living in poverty now. I've learned how to turn poverty into middle class. Yeah. Well, if you own your own house, it's a starting point. So I'm recommending everybody buy a tiny house. That would be great. No, I'm not related to the Warner Brothers. This is the coolest tiny house I've seen yet. And because we kind of focus on kind of smallest beautiful ideas on our anti-war rally, I think a lot of people would find a safe haven in a warm place that's easy to heat. And this young man put together a tiny house with a passive solar heating system, which pulls hot air into the house. And it's amazing what he's done. I'm going to give you an example of how to live humbly. He only spent $100 on heating combined, including propane, for the entire winter.
It's my house. It's not in a mortgage to a bank that if I lose my job, I have to give it back. It's paid. So that's one of the things I like most.
He's got it all set up. I'm just giving a little quick tour of what he's got there. Pretty cool, and he's got composting systems. He's got a little garden in there. It's really amazing. And somebody said, "Oh, I would never live in a tiny house." Well, the guy was saying it was very depressed, and I was saying, "Hey, you know, you could really solve your problems if you get a small, tiny house and work on it. You'd be surprised how getting your fingers dirty slowly heals your depression." You start to feel good about everything you do, and you go, wow, I could really live in this. Yeah, it beats a tiny cell. That's right, a tiny house beats a tiny cell. And you have 4 hookers in your little tiny house? 1 for each night? Or 4 hookers a night? Yeah, well, you won't need $50,000 worth of land to put it on, investigator. You're in a kind of a fantasy land there. Believe it or not, you can buy land for as low as $1,200 an acre in America. You just have to be willing to, you know, live in the middle of Deming, New Mexico, on a hard pan with no water. Yeah, it's totally possible. We are pushing on the homestead renewal plan, which I believe could very well save the nation. So if you wanted a $50,000 house on a piece of property, we would be able to provide that. So that's doable if you really want to spend $50,000. So that's something you could participate in, fixing up houses, and be a part of that whole growing movement we're going to try to put together. Yeah, you can pay off a $200,000 house in 10 years if you're making big money. But if you're not, good luck. Our $50,000 houses will have $500 a month payments, and you'll pay them off in 10 years. And if you do the math, you'll know that that's $60,000. Well, that's the extra interest you have to pay, because we can't just give you $50,000 in cash up front without any kind of return investment. And we have a certain amount of collateralized loss we have to deal with. But we're not charging anywhere near the bank level. This will be a loan directly from Uncle Sam through our infrastructure bank. This is the deer. Lipitor is not a good thing. I gotta tell you, if you're on Lipitor, you may want to consider red yeast. Actually, red rice yeast. Yeah, I say it's a little bit better for lowering cholesterol, less side effects. Do you have high blood pressure? Really? Oh yes, I consider that a very serious sign. Have you been taking any kind of A-Spade? I'm not giving any medical advice here. Have you been taking any kind of Pepto-Bismol products? Because your stools will be black if you're taking Pepto-Bismol. Yeah, but I'm not saying Lipitor isn't something you should be on. I'm just saying you may want to try red rice yeast. We don't have, my HOA fees will be very, very low. There won't even be any, it'll be built into the $50,000 package. There won't be any community fees either. Water will be municipal water. Well, that's a little strange. Your egg stomach hurts? Yeah. You bought his sailboat for 34 grand, really? Or 34,000? Or 3,400? Because right there is 3,400K is 3.4 million. How much was it? At this point, we do have a relative sketch of the $50,000 house. Every one of them is going to be different. So if you happen to live in a neighborhood with brick, we will keep the brick motif and probably spray paint the brick. Unless it's really good brick, in that case, we'll preserve the brick. If the brick is, rough and old, we'll just spray paint it. It looks very good spray painted. But the house concept that we have in mind is very simplistic at this point, because it's designed to adapt to any house we look at. Any house can be fixed up and improved. So when we look at the homestead renewal plan, we just put a standard house that was fixed up, renovated, and improved with new vinyl siding. And then we have this concept of creating a solar rooftop revolution in America. No, the tiny house that Elon Musk he's got is even more disturbing. Where is Elon Musk's tiny house? Let's see if I can bring that in. Here it is. This you can call home. Tesla's Tiny House Roadshow demystifies its energy tech. They've got a really cool thing going on. It's, as you know, they're working on a Tesla with it has a power wall attached to it. And it's got a 2 kilowatt solar system. The power wall costs $5,500. God knows how much this whole thing costs, along with the Tesla. You're probably looking at a couple $100 grand. I don't know. I'm sure his house isn't going to be really cheap, but I will give you the link to Engadget has this. You hate that font? I'm so sorry, that's what you have to hate. So home sweet home, everybody. So stopping wars really involves preventing wars. Right now, Donald Trump is so frightened that he's going to be charged with a crime that he's spending all of his time trying to distract us. So he's got a distraction campaign like no other president in history. But it's pretty obvious that his goals of distracting us are not working, because every time he tries to distract us, we see him as more and more incompetent. My intelligence test is at my website, davidsponheim.com. Are you brain dead? I told you 3 times. Thank you. Jeez. That's a 3-dimensional scan of a brain. Isn't that cool? Makes you think, huh? So Operation Distraction includes threatening North Korea with nuclear assault, even though China will back them with nuclear power or nuclear weapons. So Donald Trump found out this week that if he attacks North Korea with weapons of nuclear and power and fury and all this crap that came out of his mouth, fire and fury, that tripe that came out of his mouth, only pissed off Kim Jong-un and created an even bigger problem for our country. And the world stock markets dropped $1 trillion because of Donald Trump threatening various countries. Iran has now said that they're going to step up their nuclear missile program in lieu of Donald Trump if he continues his rhetoric. Isn't that nice? I just answered your question. davidsponheim.com. So yeah, we got a president who has to keep us constantly distracted from his mobster friends in Russia, and the probe that's going to no doubt uncover an intense contact between Trump's people as far back as 3 years. We know for a fact Carter Page was talking to Russian intelligence 3 years before the election. So they basically financed Donald Trump with a $100 million line of credit. How do we know that? Because Eric Trump told a couple guys on a golf course that they had a $100 million line of credit with Russia. Donald has already committed obstruction of justice by saying that he fired James Comey to stop the Russian investigation. And I believe he's committed high crimes and misdemeanors in bribery, accepting bribes from cabinet members to take the posts. I truly believe that's been going on. And I know for a fact that Betsy DeVos gave him $9.5 million toward his campaign, which is illegal. So a lot of things are going on right now. And until until our government does the necessary thing to impeach this man, we're going to be stuck with this guy creating wars as a form of distraction. So the biggest problem with the potential for war now is that Donald Trump could reverse his position on not funding rebels, because now his administration is entirely comprised of New World Order puppets like Jared Kushner and Ivanka and Kissinger. These people are going to be moving forward. If Pence makes it to the presidency, he is going to have to present his emails from when he was a governor. He's evaded the public disclosure laws for the past 8 months now. And if he doesn't present his emails from his time as a governor of Indiana, his private emails, then we've got another Hillary-gate, Pence-gate situation. This country cannot continue with these people with all this luggage. We've got problems. And we cannot move forward with those problems when we have people in power with luggage. I don't have any luggage. I don't have any bad things or marks against me. Okay, so that was pretty fun. This is perhaps the best link of the past week. An I-Team says a hacker says that U.S. military secret space program exists besides NASA. I wanted to watch this. Let me see if it's available.
New at 11, does the U.S. military have its own secret space program separate from the NASA space effort? A computer hacker says he's seen the evidence and will talk about it at a Las Vegas symposium this weekend. His name is Gary McKinnon. He's a computer whiz out of the United Kingdom. Back in 2001, while searching online for evidence about UFOs, he accessed classified NASA computers 13 times. But instead of UFO evidence, he says he found files about a secret space program operated by the U.S. Navy, including the names of off-planet crew members. The president of the Mutual UFO Network, which meets in Las Vegas this week, told us what McKinnon uncovered.
Basically, Donna Hare, who had worked for NASA, had told him about specific buildings where they were airbrushing artifacts out of photographs. So, it was getting rid of UFOs in photographs before releasing them to the public from NASA. And he wanted to go find some of that stuff. And in his search for that information, this is what he stumbled upon, literally a secret space fleet within the U.S. Navy.
McKinnon was arrested for the computer break-in, and the U.S. tried to extradite him for that trial. But after an 8-year legal battle, the British government refused to turn him over. So Saturday at noon, McKinnon is going to speak via Skype to the Mutual UFO Network Symposium, meeting in Las Vegas Friday through Sunday. Several other speakers will address the different aspects of the alleged secret space program. If you would like more information on the event, a link is posted on our website, and we will...
Okay, that's going on this weekend. So if you're in Vegas right now, maybe you could check it out. The Romulan will be there. It could be a Romulan, Mark says. Okay, psychobehavior is feeling very, very verklempt tonight. That's a Yiddish term for feeling a little bit down and out. I didn't answer his big question. He wants to know about stucco houses. There are some places that stucco can be repaired, like in California. Yeah, stucco houses can be repaired. We don't need to put a new outer cover over stucco houses. All right? I hope that answers your question. Stucco houses are still very popular in Palm Springs and parts of LA. I know because I used to live there a long, long time ago. I'm not a contractor, no. I can tell you, though, I can answer questions that may seem like I'm a contractor. I'm fairly good at answering almost any question. I don't forget people who come in our show and say they're not happy with their questions are not being answered. I want my chat answered, and I don't want anyone to let my chat go away. You're a very needy chatter, but you have a right to be. Your psychobehavior. I will not sit back and watch my America be destroyed. You can make that your mantra. No, tiny houses are the rage, man. People are, but you have to decide, are you willing to sit on the same couch and watch your 50-inch LED TV over and over again until your couch is worn out and you're, sitting on your crusties? Are you willing to do that? Sleeping on your crusties. I don't think that's appropriate, but you can always get a new couch in your tiny house. So, there are a lot of people that don't like the tiny house thing. But it's only because they really want to have a real house. Okay, so the invisible fence idea is the outcome of national defense plans that I put forth in 2008. I came up with the 1,000 miles needed for the fence. Trump has copied the idea, said he's wanting to build a 1,000-mile wall. And in the process, I morphed the idea into something even better. And the concept is to protect our border with the South using an electronic fence, actively using the active denial system made by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers.
Role of an unruly mob at Georgia's Moody Air Force Base are about to fall prey to an invisible ray. The hulking panel atop this Humvee is part of what the U.S. military calls the Active Denial System, or ADS. It's designed to incapacitate enemy combatants with an unnerving, non-lethal sensation of intense heat. Watch as the ray silently strikes and scatters the crowd.
The active denial system has three great characteristics. First of all, it's safe. Second, it's effective. And third, it has a tremendous range compared to the other non-lethal weapons that today's warfighter has.
This is the heart of this 100-kilowatt transmitter. This is the gyrotron. 200 kilowatts of electricity is fed in, and 100 kilowatts of radio frequency comes out. That millimeter wave energy comes out an aperture underneath the main reflector, hits the subreflector, which illuminates that main reflector and sends a roughly antenna-sized beam downrange.
All right, so imagine that antenna-sized beam downrange functioning as an invisible fence. You got yourself the technology needed to defend our nation. Now, if we have these sentinels 1 mile apart, the invisible fence will become a lot more visible. Yeah. So you run into this thing, your skin starts heating up. There's no collar needed. Anybody who enters it immediately is perceived by the motion detection system, which then allocates enough energy to send the ray across a field long enough to deter anyone from crossing. If it was mob attacked, everybody would basically have sizzling skin. It doesn't hurt your organs, it just makes your skin sizzle. Top 3 layers. Yeah. Great sizzling? No, a lymphoma no.
Those holes that you see in the antenna are for the cameras and other visual equipment that the operator uses so that he knows exactly where that beam is going.
It's operated by a joystick. The operator looks into the console, sees exactly what that antenna is aimed at, moves the joystick left, antenna slews to the left, same way to the right. Then when there's an individual who's identified as a troublemaker, he has a cursor. He can put that cursor on that individual, pull the trigger that's on the joystick, and the energy is sent downrange at the speed of light.
The electromagnetic radiation
boom, it sizzles your skin,
released by the active denial system is similar to the microwaves in your microwave oven, in that it causes the water molecules in the target to become excited.
And that means it's going to send your nerve endings through the roof. Yeah. No, she was never with him, no. All right, thanks for listening to my invisible fence idea. It's a cutting edge, and it defies anything anyone can copy. So if Trump starts coming out with an invisible fence idea, you know we've got problems, because he's been stealing my ideas daily. All right, thank you so much for attending this show. As you know, we have an ongoing show till 10 o'clock, meaning without any scripting or preparation or any type of staffing like ABC, NBC, CNN has, Fox has. I have to develop a show for you every night, 5 hours in length. Isn't that amazing that I'm able to pull that off? I think it's kind of a phenomenal feat myself. I'm not trying to brag, but yeah. Hey, this happened. Spanish police have foiled a second terror attack. Just hours after 13 people allegedly were killed in Barcelona. 5 people were killed in a shootout with police, allegedly. In the town of Cambrils, 100 kilometers from Barcelona. This is the third attack. Hey, thanks, Rodney. The suspects had attempted to carry out a similar attack. 7 people had been injured, including 2 seriously. There's their covered van. Yeah, I'm not really sure what that was. So whether the Barcelona was real or it's a false flag, only the evidence will tell us. And since there's no evidence, and the perps died, yeah. However, the situation in Florida is different, where the cops were shot, 6 cops shot, 2 dead. There is a perpetrator, and they have, yeah, why cover the van? I was wondering about that. Thanks, Rodney. Why do they have, I mean, basically they have a guy in custody right now. So whenever they have a guy in custody, that's your clue that it's a real event. No one's making this up. Oh my goodness, we have a visitor. Hi, how you doing, Brock? Get down, let's boogie, man. Get down on it. Yeah. Get down on it. Wonder what he's doing lately. Homosexual love with his transgender wife, Michael. What do you think? Cashing in on some of those Cayman Island accounts? Maybe making more corporate pay-to-play deals with some of his friends? How is he doing? I'm not like that. I'm not a scumbag who's out for money like Trump and Obama. I'm a person who's dedicated to the truth, justice, and freedom of this nation and is giving my life to this effort. Because I'm Mr. Right.
You're my Mr. Right, my Mr. Right. Too good to be true. You spin my world around, 'cause you're the peace I find. If you sweep me off my feet, my heart stops to beat. 'Cause you make me melt away. My Mr. Right, too good. You spin my world around, 'cause you're the peace I find. If you sweep me off my feet, my heart stops to beat. 'Cause you make me melt away. You make me melt away. My Mr. Right, too good to be true.
All right. No, I don't do Donna Summer's songs, but thanks anyways for asking. I'm trying to locate if anybody who's talked to. Well, nobody's talked to. Anyway. We have a lot of people here talking about peace and tranquility, and I think that's a good thing. Let it be known that we're the ones stopping the rebel support, and so far our country has pulled rebel support from Syria. We don't know if that's going to remain the same now that Bannon is gone. So to recap, hopefully Trump will stay on the pathway of not supporting rebels in Syria, which we know led to the ISIS formation. Our government doesn't admit anything. They just keep going on the same path what they've been on until they realize it's failing. And the theory that we're going to somehow blame Assad for a gas attack every few months is not really playing out. So hopefully we put an end to the theory of a potential war in Syria. And that was my goal 4 years ago when I started our Saturday show. I did not in any way want more war, and I heard the hint of more war coming out of the Secretary of State, John Kerry at the time, and Barack Obama, so I better get rid of that. Keeps bouncing in the show. A lot of you were concerned that because I'm not a rich guy, and I don't have billions and billions of dollars, that somehow I can't become president. All I need is 60 million votes, and I can become president. I support John Kelly in principle. I think he's got a real tough job with General Mattis, Mad Dog Mattis, to hold the fort. And I want to thank General Mattis and John Kelly for keeping it under control, because clearly Donald Trump is unraveling. So I really appreciate their work, and I certainly would keep them on if I were in a position to do that, if they were still obviously serving. All right. Dare if you go to the military office, a comment, right? Breaking. A spade. Anti-white supremacy protesters chant, F the police, and cops and Klan go hand in hand in Dallas. Okay, so the Antifa group or the anti-white supremacy group or whoever the hell they want to call themselves is gathering in Dallas and getting angry at cops. That's not a good combination. Yeah, cops in Dallas have notoriously been pretty tough to deal with. Ergo, JFK getting assassinated. But here they are. Cops go hand. Yeah, cops and Klan go hand in hand. All right. Finishing that little soiree. Yeah, people are out of work. That's a good reason why there's riots and marches, guess 710. True. Good point. Hey there, buddy. Hey, we got a visit from David Sponbard over there at YouTube. Amazing. If you're having any problems at all with the bond buffer, you can get our show during our recorded broadcast time at that location. We have our own show live. Yeah, Trudeau is a super pansy. Seems to be a puppet for the New World Order. I'm very hesitant to embrace people that have family members that were leaders prior. It's difficult. It just, the road to the political pyramid, or the political heap, the top of the heap, let's put it that way, can go in two different directions. Either you're getting a job from your parents, which in the case of Trudeau is the case. George W. Bush. People die fighting for democracy. Laura and I don't do that. That kind of a person is a mediocre president. Same with Barack Obama, whose mother was a CIA agent. If you have people in your family that are connected, that's not a good president. It's not a good representative. You know, when his mom was a bank tender in the Indonesia, she actually was part of a cult. It's hard to believe that these people are actually our president. Now, they were handpicked to be members of either the CIA or some rich family. Patrick is some sort of an idiot himself. I mean, he came in our room and he said something and we got laughed at what he said. He's completely moronic, this Patrick guy. How do you keep your sex life up? Psychobehavior. A good diet, enough rest. Try to minimize your overuse of your sex organ. Yeah, don't have like track marks on your sex organ. That's a bad sign. It's funny how people talk about sex in our show. Yeah, Rob Ford was the only Canadian politician you respected, and I'll tell you something. What he tried to do in Toronto was pretty miraculous. He tried to keep the corporations out of profiting from everything. And look what happened to Rob Ford. No, Patrick is just this worthless piece of nothing. And it's kind of sad. He doesn't have a legitimate IQ test on file. I do. That's a starting point. True test of a liar is if he doesn't have a test on file. He can think he's smart, but he has no proof of it. All right. There you go. Patrick equals... There's a guy named Pat Rick in here. A different guy than Patrick. He's a piece of shit, you say? Wow. And Rodney is speaking in his home country of Russia. Scientists have a 3D printed high-resolution living tissue. Okay. I'll tell you. David, God, how? Are you asking those philosophical questions, Rodney? In Russian. Oh, here we go. Oxford University scientists have found a groundbreaking way of 3D printing living tissue that could pave the way for regenerative medicine. It prints stem cells to recreate complex living tissues, devised by Oxford scientists in collaboration with Bristol School of Cellular and Molecular Medicine. The discovery could revolutionize regenerative medicine as it allows for reproduction of complex tissue that could replace or repair damaged or severed areas of the body. I'm trying to say it as fast as possible. That's exciting. To date, there are limited examples of printed tissues which have the complex cellular architecture of native tissues. So they designed a high-resolution cell printing platform from relatively inexpensive components that could be used, reproduced, produced, and artificially tissues with appropriate complexity with a range of cells, including stem cells. Well, that's special. Let's see it work. It's nice to talk. Talk is cheap. But you're still doing this. Why are you doing this? You keep giving me Russian translations. You know I don't speak Russian. What is wrong with you, Rodney? I bet you do. Fantasizing will get you nowhere. Purging you. I don't have to discuss personal hygiene with you. Do you mind? My exoskeleton does not exude any kind of moisture or perspiration. There you go. King Lizard says, when you beat off to porn, you literally siphon your chi energy to lower dimensional demons. Why do you think porn is legal and free everywhere? Have you seen, right, Monsters, Inc., where demons feed off fear energy? It's real. They made the effing movie. King Lizard Hunter, you seem to know a lot about the excesses of masturbation. Well, you're right. It takes away your chi energy. I know. I don't believe him. No, I believe that Stephen is a man who lives in a world of jealousy, and because of that, he seems to exude jealousy on his show. I've seen his show a couple times. It doesn't seem like a guy who's legitimately there. He seems to be doing it for AdSense money. Ergo, he doesn't have a subscription number anymore. He pulled out. All the AdSense whores have done that. Thigh fat, I would recommend doing Stairmasters or walking upstairs. That will get rid of your thigh fat rather quickly. Well, most people don't realize their chi is everything they've got to get through life. Me, I've been maintaining a minimal use of my chi energy through a process of martial art that I created called Tai Chi Bo, in which I am like water. Monsters, Inc. was made by Disney. Disney's owned by the Illuminati. There was an incredible truth in the Monsters, Inc. movie, in your face. You know, I didn't see that movie. If I should, I don't have a bull dyke wig. I have a really good surfer wig. Okay? If you can't handle the truth, you can't handle the truth. Yeah, I heard Disney movies are replete with symbolism and references. And many of these movies look like they're mind controlling. Sarah and I went to a movie in it was like 15 years ago. Narnia. Anyway, the movie was so horrible, with such awful, evil, satanic symbolism, that we literally walked out of the theater. Have you seen the movie Iron Fist? It's cool. Check it out. It's really good. It's a martial arts movie. Narnia, yeah. Chronicles of Narnia. We walked out of the show and we asked for our money back. Number one. Number one or number two? I don't know. I haven't gone to the bathroom yet. I'll tell you a little later. Now, I don't believe Satan exists. You see, that's where we separate here. I don't believe there is a Satan, although I believe there is a hell. It's kind of a no man's land where everything you thought was important is meaningless, and you're forced to relive your same horrible life over and over again. You might be living in hell right now. Have you considered that? How many of you are living in hell? Press 1. Anybody? Some of your conditions are really, really bad. You can be honest here. Just say you're living in hell. We got one person living in hell multiple times. 575. I'm living in heaven, so I would love to be able to offer you a taste of heaven, but I can't. Okay, so it's only one person's living in hell. No, some people really are living in hell. Have you ever woken up every day wondering whether you get your ass kicked by somebody in your family or somebody at school? Press 1. Okay, so none of you have really lived in hell. 575. Yeah, there you go. Okay, since one person is living in hell right now, we have to at least acknowledge that. You binge watching The Defenders? Yeah. But some of you need to gain weight too. Some of you need to lose weight. Well, if some of you are trying to become millionaires or billionaires and want to really get success, the best way to do that is this. Imagine having billions of dollars. Pre-visualize all that money. And then imagine what you're going to do with all that money. And then how you're going to be with all that money. And then realize that you'd probably be better off without that money. Oh, sorry. Was that disturbing you? I'm not materialistic, so I don't really have a problem with, you know, you have rich parents. How come you haven't made a donation? Dick Gregory has died at the age of 94, folks. Or 84. 84. Dick Gregory, a great, great guy, a highly respected African-American who spoke out on chemtrails and all kinds of stuff, has passed away. Well, 84 is not too bad. No, I never did anything in my 69. It was a 71 VW. Well, I was that one nightmare sex, one-night stand I had in it. I will admit to having a one-night stand with this woman. It was horrible. I met her at a dance club, and she was like 37 years old. I was 18. It was not pretty. I don't know. Dick Gregory's passed away.
I'm a lot older than 37.
You're not. No, don't even think that. And it wasn't the fact that she was 37 that was it was a nightmare. Dick Gregory, he had a wonderful life. Comedy, actor, writer, famed civil rights activist, died Saturday night in D.C., according to his family. He'd been a comedian serving as... That's okay. He's widely regarded as a trailblazer in both stand-up and politics. The legendary Dick Gregory, man.
My brother called me. They about to repossess my car. What must I do? Don't park in front of the house.
It's Sunday morning on CBS. And here again is Jane Pauley.
That's Dick Gregory in a 2009 TV special.
Oh gosh, she's just not the person to talk about Dick Gregory.
The serious life of a humorist.
Jane Pauley, I mean, she's the fakest woman I've ever seen on TV. Dick Gregory was natural. He really was. He's kind of like a human font of knowledge. Okay. Because everything we do has been censored, our growth rate has been hindered here in America, but our growth around the world has really, really taken off. Okay, this story is very strange. We're going to say a man lift a, a 20-ton block. This is disclosed TV. Let's see if this works. Oh yeah, he's going to lift this block.
Okay, I'll see it. We'll see. What is this, like fulcrums?
A man from Michigan has discovered how to move and lift 20-ton blocks by hand using only wood, pebbles, counterweights, and manpower.
Counterweights.
He creates a compelling argument for the methods used in the construction of Stonehenge, the pyramid.
4,000 years ago, Stone Age Britons raised this mysterious monument.
It's a 6-minute video we can watch at the end of our show in about 45 minutes. So let's set that off in the corner there.
Your show doesn't end until then?
You didn't know I ended the show at 10 o'clock every night?
Well, you used to end it at 9. No wonder.
I had it.
We're not gonna...
What is this object sitting in front of us? The Earth. The final frontier.
Never mind.
You watched it last night? Okay, cool. I'm glad you're here again to watch it again. Are you taking notes? We will be asking, there's going to be a test in 15 minutes. Get your number 2 pencils.
I agree, Mad Dog.
All right, we'll play that at the end.
And bubble wrap.
And then we got a very rare movie about George Soros tonight, Sarah. We believe that he's behind a lot of these paid protests in America right now.
Well, in about 3 weeks, I will be yawning and I will be asleep by 10 p.m. I don't have a class yet, 6:45. School doesn't start until after the eclipse.
Okay, it's 1 hour and 48 minutes. Wow. Ripley's Believe It or Not is on tonight. I got to get a couple things from our show that we didn't have last night. Okay, and
a deleted video. I guess you can just delete that.
a lot of deleted videos lately on YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, this is a good one. Arnold Schwarzenegger's message to the Nazis. Have you seen this?
Two sides to bigotry, and there are no two sides to hatred. And if you choose to march with a flag that symbolizes the slaughter of millions of people, there are no two sides to that. The only way to beat the loud and angry voices of hate is to meet them with louder and more reasonable voices. And that includes you, President Trump. In fact, as president of this great country, you have a moral responsibility to send an unequivocal message that you won't stand for hate and racism. Now let me help you write your speech here a little bit. As President of the United States and as a Republican, I reject the support of white supremacists. The country that defeated Hitler's armies is no place for Nazi flags. The party of Lincoln won't stand with those who carry the battle flag of the failed Confederacy. Was that very difficult? You see, I told you. I have a message to the neo-Nazis and to the white nationalists and to the neo-Confederates. Let me be just as blunt as possible. Your heroes are losers. You're supporting a lost cause. And believe me, I know the original Nazis. I was born in Austria in 1947, shortly after the Second World War. And growing up, I was surrounded by broken men. Men who came home from the war filled with shrapnels and guilt. Men who were misled into a losing ideology. And I can tell you that this ghosts that you idolize spent the rest of their lives living in shame. And right now, they're resting in hell. I know that you weren't born with this hateful.
So he definitely came in and talked about this. His history in Germany and Austria, it really gives him a certain amount of authority in this matter. And aside from the fact that he's a cybernetic organism, human flesh over an exoskeleton, that helps too. All right, Sarah's here for a little fun time for our show to kind of like relax while I go in and close the hour, all the way up to the 10 o'clock hour, where we will follow up with videos. All right, here she is.
I didn't know, David. I mean, I knew David was increasingly expanding his show, but I still thought his YouTube show video stopped at 9.
Don't do the second one, no. I do a show from 5 to 10, 5 hours a night. I've been doing it for about 2 years now. And Sarah just found out about that.
No, it started out 6 to 8.
Yeah.
And then it went from 6 to 9. And suddenly it's 5 to 10.
So that was 5 to 9 and then 5 to 10.
Yes.
So I now expanded a 5-hour show just to show people I'm in this for keeps. You can't knock me off the internet or run a show in a similar prime time against me. And I'll dominate. We got people trying to build fourth parties on this network. And they don't have the commitment that I have every night. They don't come into the show. They can't do a 5-hour show. It's 5 to 10 every night. It's 5 to 9.
You could make it 5 to 9.
I could. And I could drop out of here at 12 o'clock and close the show down and get some sleep. But no, I don't.
Just saying.
I know.
You know? I don't know. Yeah. Anyway. That's... Oh. Yeah, ghosts, it happens. Well, you know, he can just keep going with that character and maybe it will help him in life. No, not right now. 785. I'll tell you what, tomorrow, what's tomorrow? No, Monday, I will wear a shirt that kind of shows my shoulders. How about that? Well, I let you know and I let David know that starting pretty much September 1st, I will be asleep by 10 p.m. So he can do the show till 5 in the morning. That's fine. I will be asleep by 10 p.m. It's just the way it is. Why would I want to wrap a tape measure around my neck? No thanks, Snake of Egypt. Well, you know, no, he doesn't have to sleep on the couch. I think there's an issue where David doesn't want to be hit on. Well, no, I'm not saying that, but if he wants to spend time with me, then he'll take that into consideration. I might start sleeping at 9:30. Yeah. David has his own dancing style. It's alright. America's Third Party is our party affiliation. Okay. Are you gay, 145? Well, actually, does it matter if you are gay? Why should I be asking you that? I'm sorry. I don't mind anyone's orientation. Doesn't bother me in the least. I'm sure he does, Chucklehead Charlie. Well, no, Rodney, I'm not. Definitely not practicing. Because in order to get David on the ballot, it takes a huge number of petitions, signatures, and we'd all have to work to get David on the ballot. So you can continue to write in his name each election year. Yeah. Just to feel good. What is the issue? Politics? I'm not sure what's going on in the political world. Oh, you reminded me I have to change the date on this. I guess it's not Bannon being fired anymore. It's... What's the big news for today? Well, people can say anything they want, Jeremy. It doesn't mean it's true. David. Well, that would be up to you, wouldn't it now? 467. If you want David for president, you would want him on the ballot. Operation Hyacinth. Okay, just one moment. Alright, I guess it's protests and more. Protests. Save. Alright, I'm gonna go check my email. I would never make David sleep outside. Well, then go there if it's buffering. David has beautiful toes, and everything about David is beautiful. Yes, I would. 633. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Alright, good to know. Thank you. I got your email. Mad Dog. Please read this news article. DNA from unflushed poop leads police to a burglary suspect. I guess he should have flushed, huh? Yeah, good idea, 785. Go pass out. Oh, okay, 400. Yes, Rodney is Sponbart. You can't watch YouTube. He's in there. Okay. Hello, Rodney. Alright. They used DNA to identify a burglary suspect who did his business and didn't flush at the scene of the crime. Oh my goodness. He was 42, Andrew Jensen. He was arrested July 28th after investigators performed a DNA analysis on fecal matter left unflushed at the scene of an October 7th, 2016 burglary in Thousand Oaks. The fecal matter resulted in a DNA match to Jensen. Most people don't assume or don't know that DNA can be obtained by other things besides hair and saliva. They look for any type of evidence that might be left behind, whether it's a smoked cigarette or a can that may be left behind, they'll analyze it. He was arrested on suspicion of burglary and jailed in lieu of a $70,000 bail. Yeah, it's, well, you figure it was in your body, so it was next to your cells, so yes, there can be DNA there. Flush, people! Flush! Actually, don't rob people. That would be even better. You're thinking of becoming a born-again Christian, you think that's going to help your chances on the dating scene? Maybe. I don't know. There is a lot of nice Christian women out there. Sarah, you're so sweet. Sorry, I know. I didn't mean to talk about bowels, but it was in the whole thing. Okay, Operation Hyacinth. Snake of Egypt, I'm going to mute you so that you can't put those weird things in for 10 minutes. It was a secret mass operation of the Polish Communist Police carried out in the years 1985 to 87. Its purpose was to create a national database of all Polish homosexuals and people who were in touch with them, and it resulted in the registration of around 11,000 people. They're just keeping databases of homosexual people. I'm glad that didn't happen in the US. Due to Operation Hyacinth, members of the gay community decided to go underground and cover their sexual orientation even deeper. Several of them left Poland, and the operation itself was criticized by Western mass media. The Polish government denied allegations. Spokesman Jersey Urban, asked in December 1988 by Cade Winters of the Baltimore Sun, said that such an operation never took place. The medical industry is tracking sexual performance. That's probably true, Ghosts. Like I said, 157, come back on Monday to send or sin religion, giving people an excuse to send. Send what, where? So researchers found a wreckage of a World War II Navy destroyer Indianapolis 72 years after it sank. Yes, anyone who uses Facebook is being tracked by them. They follow me around everywhere I go. Facebook. He probably is. I left him some potatoes. He left me some chicken and peas and lettuce and potatoes, and I didn't eat the potatoes. No thanks, 785. Rodney? No. Yes, Gmail, Facebook, YouTube, they're all the same. They're tracking me. You enabled an extension that disables website cookies? Okay. How about you can dream about that, 785, because it's not going to happen in real life. Alright, good job. I can dream about you. I know you weren't born with these hateful views, Schwarzenegger says. Okay. So there's a suspect in killings of 2 Florida officers was arrested at a bar. What did I do with what money? I don't know, 157. I am not Rodney. You had 7 state troopers stand in front of you and explain to you how they track Facebook. There's even a headquarters where it's done. Nice. I'm gonna get rid of you, 922, because that's horrible. That money my mom gave me for singing lessons. Ha! I know, I don't sing well. Good night, 139. My mom couldn't afford singing lessons, so I never took any. I used to sing when I was a kid. Then I learned that I was a horrible singer, so I just stopped. That's where the state troopers messed up. You've never been back to Facebook or any other site which requires you to log in except Vaughn Live. It's your final corner of the internet. At some point you might walk away from it all. I know. So I've been reading, well, no, I don't. I haven't been reading. I listened to bits and pieces of a book called, an audio book called Future Crimes. That's basically how all the criminals of the world are using the internet. Thank you, I have thick skin. I don't know. David's probably cleaning up for my dinner mess. The Volkswagen van bus is coming back with modern twists. Electro microbus spotted from drone. Why Wall Street is so fixated on Gary Cohn's position in the White House. It's become almost impossible to figure out what Tesla is actually worth. Negative $365,761. But he won't tell you he's negative because he's just borrowing money. I know, but paper plates, well, I guess paper plates can be biodegradable, 502. I was going to say paper plates aren't good for the environment, but they're not bad for the environment because they can biodegrade. Plastic plates aren't good for the environment, so make sure they're true paper and they break down. David is immune to David's garlic. Is Sarah immune to David's garlic? No. I don't like that. I'm not a big garlic fan. It's okay if I actually like cooked garlic, but I don't like raw garlic, and I don't like eggs. Yes, that's a good point. Paper plates sequestrate carbon. Thank you so much for asking me, 785. It is Sarah with an H. It makes a huge difference. I always tell people that ask me, because Sarah with an H, like I spell my name, means princess. Sarah without an H means bitter, because she was so bitter she didn't have her name put an H on it. Oh, King Lizard Hunter, interesting. Thanks, Mad Dog. Hello, Shadow. How are you? Yes, Mad Dog does love me. Alright, bye, 785. Who is that? Ben? Somebody? I don't even know. That's Ben in Ohio. He's very nice. Okay. Alright, I'm going to close out of this Operation Hyacinth. I'll leave. I wanted to see the man lifting a 20-ton block by hand. I'll just move in here. Maybe I'll just watch it myself on this little corner.
Mostly family.
So he's moving 5-gallon barrels, and then he's... Oh, that's interesting. Rolling blocks. Pushing them with fulcrums. Ooh, that's interesting. Neat. Neat, neat. Shadow, yes. I don't pay any attention to it. Maybe King Lizard Hunter, unless you are so awesome that you become an angel. But if you become an angel, That's just more servitude, because then you have to help like a lot of people all at the same time. And that's probably difficult to do. I just try to help people, as many people as I can here on Earth, but you know, I know, yeah, some of us did volunteer for this mission to help save everyone. But, yeah. You think all religions are fake? I miss Jackson too. What happened, Mad Dog? I heard he, like, left earlier because he was upset by something. Oh, it was Antique, wasn't it? You know, tracking, yeah, you might start to get muted and banned. You volunteered to save Sarah Connor. Yeah. Lift a forgotten technology of how to lift and move giant stones by hand. That sounds so cool. Okay, good, Shadow, thanks. Yeah, don't tell David about other parties, because he wouldn't appreciate it. Oh, really, Rex? Maybe it just had some built-up energy and you had to restart your computer. Oh, you have a big forest in your yard? You're cutting trees? Are you going to use the trees for barbecue wood? You should go to sleep, Mad Dog. Your body probably needs it. I should go to sleep. My body probably needs it. Oh, plum trees? Did you get some good plums from them first? I bet they do make good barbecue wood. Yeah, we're gonna go on a road trip next summer. Maybe for Christmas. Oh my god, Ghost. Ghost, you're not Tekwala. No, but that's pretty hilarious. Oh my goodness. It must be the Mandela effect. Because, oh right, Tekwala is always talking about the Mandela effect. What was it about? I was saying earlier, I was like, it's that effect. I couldn't think of it. The Mandela effect. Yes, David will always do a show, even on a road trip. I don't know, for the holidays, maybe south to warmer weather. Actually, it's perfect weather here now. That's why I'm not heading south right now. He's okay. He's pretty funny. I think Howie Mandel is funnier than Howard Stern. Well, the thing is, we went for a vacation a while ago and we didn't cast, and we came back and like all of our viewers left. I'm not a big fabric softener fan, I have to say. 113, all those perfuming agents, it's just not necessary. Right, 502, exactly. Mark needs us for his site. But it would be nice to take a, yeah, it'll be nice to go on a little break. Yeah, all the tons of chemtrails all over everything, safe or not. Not really, radio. Oh, thank you, 233. Well, I appreciate not having to pay for an RTMP to be able to RTMP stream on a site. So, and I appreciate, I have come to appreciate the coding that has been done on this chat room. It is very difficult to find a chat room where you can purge and mute and ban and ignore. Yes, it's very difficult to find a site like that. At least a free site. Like I can't really find anything that I can plug into my chat room. And yeah, I'm sure it does add up to thousands and thousands of lines. And you can't find like a plug and play site. You know, you could put IRC on your site like I have done, but with the little Kiwi thing. But the problem with IRC is that anyone who uses IRC, you can see the IP of other people, and I'm just not ready or tech savvy enough to use a VPN to shield my identity. I don't really want to shield my identity, but I know how people are. So anyway, that's, I actually have some admiration. Seriously, Mad Dog, then can I use your code and plug it into my website?
Yeah, that'd be great if we could do that, Mad Dog. Yeah, could you please forward the code? You'll be part of our technology team.
All right, fantastic.
Mad Dog forward the code, right? So it's all good to go. We'll plug and play. We'll have a site up like this in a couple of seconds.
Well, I'll install it tomorrow.
I'm not wearing a mask, no. Well, Sarah's giving you a full half hour and another half hour prior, so you've got to fit into her schedule.
Well, I guess I can, until September 1st, when I will be asleep at 10 p.m. I can stay.
Well, if you want to stay, you can. I mean, we're just going to go in together and watch some Netflix and chill. You know, the Liver Guard, I'm working on some noise canceling audio systems. If anyone knows of a really good noise canceling home audio system.
Oh yeah, let me look that up.
Yeah. We love you, Sarah.
Oh, thank you.
I know, it's so great to be loved. Love is amazing.
It's just I'm female, that's it.
That's really good. Let's put that on the screen. Let me grab it.
I know, you all want to watch Netflix with us.
No way, we're not going to watch Netflix with you. That moment when you realize the police can swab your mouth to test for weed you smoked days ago, but can't be bothered to test 400,000 rape kits. Yeah, can't be bothered. Amazing. A little back rub is coming later. I give Sarah a back rub. She gives me a back rub. Yeah, she gave me a back rub earlier. No, what I want to do is talk briefly about, I mentioned this on Technology Thursday. I'm thinking of developing unmanned missiles. Obviously, missiles aren't manned unless you're watching Dr. Strangelove and Slim Pickens riding down from the Enola Gay, the missile that dropped onto Hiroshima. But no, missiles should have self-guiding capability. But in my opinion, it should be more like scramjets with the potential to work as UAVs. So for every single F-35 and F-18 that flies above our head, we'll probably have 100 missiles in production for that same cost. And these missiles will be mobile. I don't know what the how they're going to be developed, but what I envision is something that can actually detect incoming and then scram out of position. Can have some undetermined acceleration point, completely not hardwired, but some random acceleration point where it just shoots out of position and again gains its telemetry and maintains its destination. These would be kamikaze missiles that would be UAV product, and this island where I live could be the center of this production. And what I'd like to see is the testing of the jets that goes on right here go on in an unpopulated area down in Mojave Desert. Our country has a facility called the China Lake facility, which can be adapted for this purpose. It already has a landing area just like the one we have here. Our area is toxic. They put so much flame retardant on the airplane tarmac in both the area 10 miles south of us and about 10 miles north of us that the groundwater is toxic on both sides of us. So we have pretty good groundwater here, but they really need to stop this. This is crazy. So a completely brand new, like a university for unmanned vehicles right here on the island. That's what I envision. The Hanford site, we're going to go ahead with the glassification process, which Obama stopped for no reason. And I think the glassification process looks good. We'll be transporting Hanford eventually putting the entire 160 million gallon tanks into glass and sending them to the Yucca Mountain location that Barack Obama, actually George Bush spent $7 billion on it. So it's perfectly fine. We'll continue with that plan. We could also develop a fast breeder reactor at that location eventually and slowly get rid of these things, or 97% of the waste. That's the goal. So there is a noise cancellation isolation device?
If you're the sort that needs peace and quiet to get anything done, escaping the noise pollution of everyday life is no easy task. A white noise machine can help, but in the end it's still electronic noise.
Oh.
All right. A new device that sticks onto your window will not only cancel real world noise, but isolate the noises you'd prefer to hear, if any.
Yeah, the Hanford Nuclear Repository is what I'm referring to, not Hannaford. And not to be confused with the Hanford food supplier in the New England area. There's a Hanford Foods. Yeah. Yeah, it's best to stay away from Ouija boards, really. Not good karma. What do we have here? What's this? I don't know if we're going to play Flesh to Flesh. Thanks anyway. They wanted me to take you dancing. I said there's no place to dance around here.
I know. Oops.
Operation Hyacinth. Really? We need to find out about this. Well, if I took her bowling, then the entire world would know what great bowlers we are. We don't want to release that information until later.
I like bowling.
You do like bowling, yeah.
I know.
Well, you want to go to the other bowling alley? I'm not going to name which one, but you know the one we drive by. That would be fun. You and I should go bowling.
We don't have to go bowling though.
I like to bowl. It's fun. Put your hand over the thing, cool your hand off, grab the ball, throw it down the lane. Democratic crowd hire company paid rioters $25 an hour to terrorize Charlottesville. This story finally coming out. Thank you, Scissor Fight. Hanford is, but it's downwind from other people, not us. The Hanford's in East Washington, not in front of us. If it was in front of us, I'd be more concerned. Fukushima's in front of us, and it's posing an even bigger problem with leakage. Democratic crowd hire company paid rioters, just like we thought.
Antifa members are now protesting George Soros, demanding their payments. What's up, everybody? True Seeker here. As if we didn't...
Okay. So we'll add that to our list tonight.
Hi, Mystify Me.
Okay.
Okay.
It's added. And I'll get rid of that.
Thank you.
Okay, good. You saw an upside down American flag? Yeah. I don't know what that means. So these are things you can buy that'll cancel the noise.
So basically, it vibrates the window in a pattern counter to the vibrations caused by the ambient noise.
Well, that might work. That would be
Essentially
good.
turning your window pane into a noise canceling speaker.
That would be good. Yeah, I like that. Let's consider putting them on every window in the house. We get 120 decibels from the F-35s, F-18s.
Oh, it only was able to lower the audio signals by 12 decibels, which would do a good job of blocking out quieter sounds. But
That's not bad.
Still definitely hear traffic and other loud sounds.
I'd consider it just to get rid of 12 decibels is after 120 decibels. Drop it 12. That'd be great. I'll take anything. Yeah, I don't have any way of knowing who that person is calling. Okay, hoax magic from SpaceX. Noise canceling
reloading
software.
this video I made in May 2nd. YouTube flagged me by Viacom.
Can I borrow
They
this?
took the video down, so it only has 4 views. But I'm going to have re-upload it now and take out the parts where.
Okay. I'll put that over there in the storage area tonight. We bring in links at this hour, so that's part of the deal. That's what we do.
So I'm reloading this video flagged me by Viacom.
Okay. So I just added to our list tonight. New 8, we're still in August, so we're still building a huge new library. For our playlist for every single month is bigger and bigger.
No, 612.
No date.
I've
No.
only dated David for the last 20 years,
Going on 20 years.
pretty much.
This guy's...
Why would buses line up in the same place and drop people off? Some of the people got on Black Lives Matter shirts and some people got on KKK shirts. Now, when have you ever
Never.
seen someone with the KKK shirt? Now, we know we see people with Black Lives Matter shirts, but when have you ever seen someone in the KKK shirt?
Good question. And we'll get back to him in just a bit. Right now, he's going to go to the lower level, and we will get back to him once he's been once we have a relevant time in our show to play it.
I'm just waiting until 10 o'clock so I can see the guy that moves these 2-ton pieces of...
Yeah. This guy supposedly uses levers to move. Do you know where it is? Where that video
I do.
is? Okay, good. So we could look at the noise canceling device if you want and put it on the screen. Can I cancel snoring noise? That's the question that came up.
I don't know.
I don't know either, man. So there's
3 new inventions that help block noise pollution.
that might be good. We'd add that to our list tonight. You don't mind me adding some of these
Go
lists?
ahead.
You know, anytime I get new
It's already
information,
in there.
it's
You just have to click add.
okay. I forgot you moved it over.
Well, I think you just closed out of...
Are we sure about the time on the? It's 9 o'clock. We have to start our show on Monday. So we take tomorrow off, folks. So we will be off on Sundays. But tomorrow, Monday, we do our show at 9 in the morning to see the solar eclipse. Yeah, why did the KKK and the BLM arrive to the protest using the same city bus? Because they're all traveling on the city bus? That's a good question. Yeah, we know that Operation Mockingbird is the mainstream media news that's controlled by the CIA, and Operation Artichoke, Operation Cable Splice, all these things that the CIA has been doing. We know little bits and pieces of this, but we don't really know the big picture. No, it's not okay to hit anybody, no matter what their position is. I'm serious. And if you're starting fights with Nazis, you're looking for trouble. Hey there, Dupster. You made it in from a long day at work, huh? He works quite a bit. He's breaking ground in his new house.
Wow.
Yeah. YouTube censors the truth again. Yep.
Yeah, they don't hate each other until they're at the protest.
This is a 1-minute video. I want to show it to all of you people, and whether you're a believer in false flags or not.
Well, can we watch the other one first?
At 10? In 1 minute? Okay. Show me where it is.
I'll get it in 1 minute.
Oh.
When you go off YouTube.
But I mean, just find it, so.
I know where it is.
Hey, thanks for saying my hair looks good. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's nice of you.
It's right here.
Okay, so we're going to watch Disclose.tv in 1 minute. And we're saying good night to all of you recorded broadcast shows, people, in case you have been watching us. It's the end of our normal, regular broadcasting time. I know. We're going to be picking up on Monday with the solar eclipse at 9 in the morning Pacific time.
Yes, that's the next time we'll see you. 9 a.m. solar eclipse. Wow. I guess we'll be outside.
And Operation Distraction continues to go on with Donald Trump. We'll be tracking that this coming up week. Any kind of distractions he'll come up with, whether another attack on North Korea, maybe he wants to set up a George Soros deal. After all, George Soros is a good friend of Donald Trump. And apparently Soros is floating a loan to Jared Kushner for $250 million. That's what the word is on the street. George Soros is in with Donald Trump, so remember that. Operation Distraction is to distract us from the Russian investigation. That's what they're all about.
Go for it. 349. I thought you already had it there.
Do I?
Anyway.
Well, I kind of want to... I did have it there in essence. Okay. You're right. Let me get rid of this one. Okay, here we go, everyone. Good night, and let's just get this up forward.
Did you go off YouTube?
I'm going off YouTube in just a second. Sometimes it takes a while. All right. Thank you very much. Good night from Sarah and David.
Good night.